gunfire? That's what I thought he said. Gunfire.
It's Wednesday, my dudes! I'm so excited to be back here.
Dude, it's been like 4 weeks since it's been Wednesday.
I know.
Do we even have viewers anymore?
No.
Hello out there.
Oh, you don't have Facebook. I posted on Facebook. I reposted our thing, and I said, it's finally Wednesday again.
Finally.
Guys,
Hey, Jim.
So many.
welcome to tonight's episode
entire
of
audience.
Perspective Check. Oh yeah, our one viewer.
Consistent viewer.
Jim.
Our one viewer.
On the ranks.
Sometimes here.
Guys, we're back and ready to play D&D. I'm so excited. Listen, I was only not able to play one of the weeks. The other 2 was on everyone else.
It's been 3 weeks. Wow. 0 of the weeks were on me. I just like to say that.
1.
That's fair.
Yeah, one was me.
Well, you guys played during the
But
one.
I don't have a wife, so.
That's true, we did. But, guys, are we ready to play?
Yeah.
I'm missing Wednesday night rivalry for this.
We ended it on the most
Sports.
anime moment
I'm not
before
gonna-
the
yeah.
Louis
No comment.
outing.
Forgot all
Sports.
about that.
Sports.
Sports ball puck? Oh my
Sports
god.
ball poke. I love that game.
Stick ice puck?
Guys, you're gonna alienate our audience.
Guys, speaking of games, on the last exciting episode of Dungeons and Dragon Ball Z,
That's a very strong statement.
our band of adventurers, Nocturnum, arrived in Nark, the ancient holy city of the sovereign host. Arrived and met with their contact, someone that is a member of the Order of Discord, a criminal organization that is currently leveraging the life of Sindal's father in exchange for performing a task for them, going and clearing out a mine of something that has stopped operations near the city of Nark. After speaking with their contact, they got a night's rest and then traveled north. Along the way, the group was ambushed by a group of bandits. Combat was had. Fenrir slept through the entire encounter. Sleepy Fenrir indeed.
Silly character.
They dealt with the bandits and continued traveling the rest of the way to the Dragonwood, where the mine is located. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, they found a small cabin with signs of the god Balinor, the sovereign lord of the hunt. Inside, they saw that there was light. There was someone staying in there. Inside, they met. Why was one of my notebooks? Let's grab that here. They met with a humanoid man who went by the name of Confer. Lean cut, overly hairy body, cat-like pupils and eyes. It was revealed that he is a shifter, a descendant of lycanthropes. He seemed more than amenable to share the space, share the cabin, as it seems that this is more or less a communal lodge for people that come and go, that you take care of it and leave it in good condition for the next hunter that may come through. He started to grow a little weary and began to keep his eyes locked on Lily, seeming confused. He quickly moved across the room and grabbed her by her fox-like ears, and then recoiled back to his seat, not seeming overly hostile, but confused and a bit angry. He accused the group, who had said that they had never met a shifter before and did not travel with one. He seemed confused as to why a young girl amongst their group has animal-like appendages. Lily, in a classic anime girl huff, threw on a pouty lip and crossed her arms and quickly stormed out of the cabin, where I believe Zarn and Aubert. Maybe it was just Zarn. Somebody follow. somebody is outside with Lily right now. And that is... Oh, and after this exchange, after she stormed out, Confer went over to the corner of the cabin and curled up almost like a cat with his eyes locked on you and your group and just sat resting until his eyes closed. And you heard the slow rhythmic breathing of sleep. And that was where we left off. So, who's outside with Lily?
Not me.
Are you guys doing anything out there?
I believe the last exchange ended with Lily, with him essentially just saying, "I pass."
Yeah.
So, Zarn, you see Lily before you, pouting. Is there anything else going on outside? Or are any of you guys doing anything inside?
Are you gonna console me?
I kind of like pat your head a little bit, and
Brush your hair out of your eyes.
brush your hair out of your eyes. Now, man, I haven't done this in a while. I forgot how to play D&D.
I blush.
Call him yourself.
Stop.
Eric, you stop. Shift this way around frame.
You okay, Lily? I know you don't like when your ears are touched.
Guess I'm fine. I just
Like-
don't really like that guy.
I think he's just not used to civil situations. It seems like he's more of an outsider kind of person. Might have to try and excuse the way he acts. You do have a bit of a unique look about you with your ears. You never really have explained why you have them.
I just like him. Alright.
Is that really like you just grew them on your own? Do you like them? Like someone else? You just that's kind of amazing actually. You can just grow
Body parts.
I know, I know I'm pretty impressive, but yeah. Yeah, I just like him.
Do you like change them to other kinds of ears if you want?
Probably, I guess. I don't know. After a while, I just stopped thinking about it.
That's kind of amazing. You should try it sometime, see if you can change them to like a different type of ears. Just to, might be a useful skill to have, honestly.
We'll see.
Alright.
Are we really gonna stay here with this guy tonight?
I mean, if you're not comfortable with it, we can leave.
No, I'm fine, just as long as he stays away from me.
Alright. Keep an eye on him.
Thank you so much.
Are any of you guys inside doing anything?
How have the rest of you been faring on the travels?
We lost all of our viewers.
We're a long way from any of our own
What viewers?
places of rest. Now that I've almost certainly left Kelisari for I shouldn't say for good. I will be back, but I can't imagine myself going back there too soon. Well, probably. I'm not really sure what to do after this. Or for that matter, if we... What even we should do once we get to those mines. And our hands are tied because of your father, but at the same time... I'm suspicious. I'm really suspicious that they'll even uphold their side of the bargain. Who's to say that your father's not already dead? And they'll just continue to keep dangling this over our heads. I don't think that would be in their best interests.
What was the thing last time that he said he wanted, like with the clearing out of the mine, like people coming back?
Oh, Confer was concerned with you and your group saying that if you were going to be clearing the mine, that they would start up operations again before winter started, because their operating the mine interferes and scares away the wildlife, which this is where he's hunting, and this is where he had planned on staying for the winter. Because the mine won't be operating again, because by the time that you get back to Narc, there won't be enough time.
Yeah.
So
That's what we decided.
he said as long as you and your group space things out to make sure that they don't start operating again before winter, he would be totally... That's his hope, is that you guys do that.
Yeah. which is,
Like,
works
yeah.
pretty. Okay, and we pretty much decided that that works within our deal. Is that
So,
Holy shit.
from what we discussed, right, roll an Arcana check. I'll text it to you.
Okay.
So,
Okay, we're not over there.
he sent me something, and I just remembered about it, and I needed him to roll me a check. So, all of you, eventually Lily and Zarn find themselves back inside, and at this point, Comfort is fast asleep. All of you, rest finds you. All of your hit points, spells, hit dice, everything restores. If you guys are down anything at this point, you guys awake pretty early in the morning, maybe around 7, 8 o'clock. You guys start to rise, and you see at that point that the leather armor that was laid out on the table to dry, that was Confer's, it and himself are nowhere to be seen.
The what that was laid out?
Whenever you guys showed up, there was a table,
Uh-huh.
and he had laid out all of his clothing as if all of it was wet because it had been raining the day before.
Okay. So we
All
wake
of
up.
all of his clothing, all of his possessions, and him are all not.
Like the house is completely empty.
It's just you guys and your stuff.
All his belongings
He's
are gone.
well, he's not there either. He's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He threw all his
Him-
stuff off stage.
Him and all his belongings are out, so the house is completely empty.
It's not his house though. It's a
I cast off all my worldly
It's a what?
possessions. This is like a communal hunting lodge
Okay.
that
It's like rents out.
no, it's more or less a
anyone can stop
anyone
by.
can stay here, and it's kind of a what's the word I'm thinking of?
Outpost.
It's kind of yeah, it's kind of like a mutual respect thing that you show up hoping that it's clean, and when you're done, you leave it as such, ready for the next person to come and take it.
Okay. So all his stuff. So it's not like he lives there. He just took the
No,
stuff that he was traveling with.
he
and
took
left.
all of his possessions, all of the things that he seemed to have brought here. He is gone.
I don't think he was a particularly bad person. Just lived a hard life. So I don't think we have anything to worry about with him.
Sorry. So, you guys make yourselves your breakfast. You guys pack up all your belongings. Any spells that you want to prepare for the day, go ahead and do those now. And you guys head out. So, you are now find yourselves, like I said before, you guys walk out of the cabin and you see that the cabin is at the meeting point of two arms of the forest that kind of stretch down southward. You're at the northern point where the two arms meet, right at the edge of the forest. Who's going to lead the search to try and find this mine, following the directions that you already have?
We got directions from the.
Basilia.
Okay.
You want to take a point?
Sure, I'll take one.
I'll follow closely behind.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
How good were the directions she gave us? It was pretty, seemed pretty thorough. It was a very
Natural
gen-
20.
Oh, never mind.
Natural 20. So the directions that you received is that once you get to this cabin, if you head about 3/4 of a day north, pretty much as soon as you reach this cabin at this point on the forest, if you just travel north from here, you'll find the mine. And Bear, you take those directions and you take them literally, and you guys start traveling through the woods. It's slightly overcast a little bit as you guys are going. It occasionally a drizzle will come down, but you guys are walking through the cover of the forest. As you guys start walking through, you can see that there is a heavy, heavy mist that hangs below the canopy of this forest, almost to the point that you can't see more than 10, 15 feet off the path.
It's like deciduous forest or pines?
Mostly pine. There is very muted the sound of wildlife. You occasionally hear a branch break. You occasionally hear a flutter of wings. It's very quiet at this point, and as you're walking through, your feet are... The only sound that you're accompanied with is the sound of crushed pine needles beneath your boots. It's a very eerie feeling going through here. And about 3/4 of the way through the day, probably like 4 or 5 o'clock, you start to see signs of trees being cut down, trees being cleared away. And you start to see signs of work, and before too long you come out into a clearing and you can see that there is a slight rising of the landscape, and you can see carved into a hill ahead of you is a large tunnel with iron railings coming out leading to it, where you can see that there are several wagons that lie toppled, or some of them are still upright, but you can see that there is one that has some stone in it, but all of the ones that are out here look empty. There is one that is completely smashed and broken. It seems as if you found this mine.
Have we found an entrance then?
Yeah, you see outside of where all these wagons are, or not the wagon. Well, there are wagons, and then there are also some mine carts. It looks as if everything is brought out through this tunnel and loaded into the wagons to be transported.
Gotcha.
Can I make a perception check around the entrance?
Go ahead.
Any bodies, claw marks, anything that looks rather suspicious?
I'll say this is more of an investigation check.
Oh, investigation then?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, 6.
6. Walking up, like I said, you can see that there is... you walk up towards it, you can see... it looks as if that this is very frequently traveled. Not so much now, but you can see it's very obvious. All kinds of footprints, and all of the grass is beaten down flat. There is the smashed... wagon, as well as there are several others, but looking around, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot. There's one with a few stones in it, but
nothing really looks all that.
The carts that exit the I don't know what to call it, out of the mine, just the exit. Do they have a track?
Yeah, so it looks like that there is essentially there's one main track that comes out of the tunnel, and then it kind of opens up into like it kind of splits into multiple stopping places outside of like out in this clearing.
Okay.
That it looks as if essentially one cart will be brought up and brought to one of these stopping stations, and it will be unloaded into the wagons that are there, and then it will be then put back on the track to go back down into the mine.
See. Well, there would certainly be at least a few more entrances than around us. If we mean to go into the mine now, I would think that we should look at the other entrances before we fully enter in. Is that...
Do you think there must be other entrances? Other entrances?
The empty carts must go back in, right? Isn't that what... from what
No, so essentially there's
empty cart.
They get unloaded. And
they
then go
they
back.
come out. They come from the one. There's the one track coming out of the
This
tunnel.
is like a loop that goes.
Yeah, it's essentially that it comes out into like a forking
That's
where
nice.
then it's essentially they're docked out here. The wagons are there to load them up, and then they're just put back on to go back into the mine. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So there's only one track in and out, correct?
There's one track in and out with multiple stopping stations, as if multiple wagons or multiple mining carts can be brought up at the same time.
Okay, got it. Like a train station.
Essentially, yeah.
Well,
No, I think we don't burn any time. I think we go straight in.
yes. Keep an eye out.
Nothing was said of
What we're facing?
another entrance. No.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing was mentioned of another entrance.
Not that I
Correct.
recall. And I don't know what another entrance is going to do for us either.
The carts and stuff that are pulled out of the mine, is it all just like rocks in them?
Make an investigation check.
They're full of stuff.
Great. Natural 20. So going through and looking,
First of all, back.
it looks as if that there are
I know, right?
there are several wagons. The one looks like that it was broken, and taking a look at it, it looks as if that it was hacked apart.
Interesting.
Looking through the one that still has several stones in it, kind of flipping through a couple of them, it looks as if it's all mostly stone. And as you kind of roll over the one, you see that there is an uncut ruby that is, you guess, is probably worth maybe 150 gold pieces.
Nice. Looks like it was hacked apart. This wagon. Does it look like there's been like a foot travel through here?
Mm-hmm.
Make a survival check.
19.
19. There's the majority of the foot traffic that you guess is from people coming in and out. Around the one that's hacked, there is some that's a little bit more recent, but it doesn't look like anything has come through this area in maybe the last couple weeks. None of them look that fresh.
It's interesting. If I was thinking before that perhaps whatever they attacked them came from in the mine, but if it came out of the mine and destroyed this cart for whatever reason, either it chased them out of the mine, or perhaps.
It looks more like it was hacked with weapons.
Yeah.
And the footprints that you see around it are boots. You get the idea that maybe looters came through and picked through. Because the mine has been out of operation for about 2.5 months at this point.
I'm gonna take a couple steps in,
How much did you say that ruby was worth?
About 150 gold pieces.
kind of warily. How steep is it going? Like,
You start to step into the darkness of the mine, and it's dark. As you start to walk in, you can see that it's a gradual decline. Nothing crazy. You're not going to be going hundreds and hundreds of feet unless this goes on for miles and miles.
or like fall down it, like it's just gonna.
Yeah, no, it's just there's a gradual decline. Rest of you follow him in.
Well,
I mean, I'm not going too far. I'm just kind of checking it out a bit.
I see no reason not to just delve right in. Let's.
What time of day is it? I mean, it's 3/4 of the day.
Like
you mean like
4
9?
like 4 or 5
Oh,
o'clock
okay. You mean like 3/4 of the daytime?
of daytime. Yeah.
Okay.
Just tread carefully. We don't know how stable this mine is, especially without people actually operating it.
Yes.
So.
Light up
just
my
to-
axe.
Just to cover. They were certain that there was a creature inside the mine, or they simply said something.
I believe it was just something. I don't think they had any real details for us.
Right.
Yeah, and there was no clear description of what it was that you guys were up against.
I would think that we would light the way. We should keep an eye for, as Zahn said, collapsing.
How much would I actually know, like my character know about how mines work? Because real life me knows that you like shouldn't light a flame in like certain parts of mines because of like gases and stuff. Would that be something that like a typical person would know in this world?
Roll me a history check.
That is a 9.
You know that mines go underground.
Nice.
I know anything about this being a dwarf, not actually having done anything myself, but stories from my father and my family history at all.
I'll say make an intelligence check with double your proficiency because of what would normally be like dwarven stone cunning. So
Double my proficiency?
Yeah, so make an intelligence check. Just add your straight intelligence.
Okay.
Is that what the Canadian stores are from, the mines?
Okay, so it's 17.
17 with plus double proficiency.
That sounds like a feather ability. I get
So-
proficiency.
So
No, seriously, 21. Is that where the
21.
Canadian stores are from? Yes.
So yes, you do know that in most mines there is the danger of it's mostly you've heard about it before. You've yourself never did
Never done it.
any kind of mining.
Yeah.
You've heard tale of other dwarves talking about clear gas,
Okay.
which is clear gas, which is notoriously known amongst miners as something that, when found and touched with flame, has known to just collapse tunnels, kill people. Essentially, it's methane.
Is it breathable?
It's
You
breathable
die.
to an extent. It is just known that
Is
if
it-
flame meets it, it usually spells doom for the miner that had the torch.
Okay. Is it odorless? Colorless?
Odorless and colorless.
Okay, shit.
You also know that most miners will clearly have areas shown where torches are. They will have torches like on the walls, on mining or on like wall supports. If you see torches there, it's generally safe.
I'll pass that information along to the group.
Some couple of fire magic, I guess.
I mean,
I
I,
cast
have
dancing
my
lights.
axe lit up, which is not an actual flame, so that should help us at least see a little
Fenrir
bit.
lights up his axe and you see a Sindal.
Produce
These four
To light it up too.
these four glowing lights kind of appear floating around his head.
You hear sandstorm in the distance.
You see Albert's hammer of light give off a light as well. Marching order.
I can go up front again if you guys want.
Up to you.
Sure.
Um,
I'll go.
Am I able? First off, is Luna able to traverse this mine?
Ooh.
From the entrance that you guys are standing in right now, she's able to fit through that. You
Okay.
would not be able to guide her.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Second. Okay. Well then, I will just follow closely behind Albert, with Luna at my side or closely behind me.
She'll have to be behind you.
Do we want to spread the light out a bit?
If I
do
stay
that.
near the back, I can spread
You
out
have
the
light
light
too?
throughout.
Cool. Works for
Yeah,
me.
he should do that.
I'll be back there.
Most of the light should be in the front.
I'll be behind in there. Hold my bow out.
Okay. I always assume Lily is next to or behind Zarn. Korak?
Send off. Let's send off.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know, actually.
I'm not just a white piece anymore.
It's fucking cool. Dude, it's
Oh, did you
badass.
paint- did you
He
paint
sent me a
yourself?
picture.
I've
No,
not
Cody painted it.
Ooh.
Did you paint that when we were hanging out with it?
I painted it the next morning.
Okay.
Gotta pass that around.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Took a little inspiration from Warcraft Works.
Dude.
The classic red Volgrams, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw that and I was like,
Wanna
see
ah,
this?
yeah.
Pass it.
I painted with burn eagles.
Yeah, it's coming to you
Ah.
guys.
So,
Tim.
Badass as fuck.
you
Cast fly.
guys start to head into the tunnel. Slight gradual decline. You can see that there is the one singular rail track that is kind of in front of you. You guys are kind of just following along. You can see as you're going along that, on the right side you see kind of a larger section of this tunnel kind of carved out. You can see a series of tables that all, it looks as if the chairs are toppled. You can see that there are plates with long rotted food sitting out on them. You can see that on that side as well, kind of further along in that carved out area, is just a series of beds with chests that are next to them. It looks as if that this might have been the dining and sleeping area for the workers over here.
Are there any dead?
Make a perception check.
17.
17. Go ahead and take a look at it. You don't see any dead. But like I had just mentioned, it looks as if, kind of taking a moment to look around, it looks as if chairs were knocked down and pushed out of the way, as if all of the people that were here left in a hurry.
So this is kind of like we were coming down a tunnel and just kind of opens up into this area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see any heavy foot traffic out of this tunnel? I mean, I'm not looking at, I can't see shit. But does it look like there's like a lot, like from where all these chairs were knocked over, say if I follow like the pattern of knocked over chairs, and then I look if they might have trampled other things in their way, does it look like they've all headed out in a direction? Or in?
Make a survival check. Actually, I would say this is more of an investigation.
Investigation? Okay. 16.
16. Taking a look at it, it looks as if just kind of the layout of the way the chairs are knocked over, of the way that things are just kind of pushed away, it looks as if everything was running out.
And is there only one way into here? Like, in this, like one entrance?
So far, this is the first thing that you've seen since you walked inside the tunnel. It's maybe 2 minutes in.
I mean, is there only like, does this only keep going in one direction, or is there like,
Yeah.
so everything, whatever happened further in the mine, and it caused everybody to flee out through here?
Yes. Nothing we didn't expect yet.
Yes. Just let's take a quick look over. There's just a bunch of tables and like beds and stuff. Just a quick,
Make an investigation check.
quick look and see if there's anything. 14.
14. Going through and looking over the tables, you can see again all the rotted food. Going over where the beds are, you can see that there are several chests. Coming up to them and seeing them, it looks as if several of them, the tops of them, are broken in. It looks as if the looters that might have been outside also came into this far.
Alright. So loot just came in here too. Brave loot as they were.
Continuing on down the path, about just barely around the bend from where you were before, you can see into the side onto the left side of the tunnel. It looks as if that there is a metal door frame that is in the side of the wall. And then the tunnel continues on further ahead, where you can see that there is some kind of wooden structure up ahead, just beyond the rest of your light.
This is through the doorway?
No, the door is kind of on the left side of the tunnel, and the wooden structure you can kind of see it, but you're not sure what it is. It's further ahead down the tunnel.
Is there any writing on that door?
Make a perception check.
16.
16. How many minutes?
Are we like right beside? Are we coming like right up beside?
3 weeks prepared, Cody.
Listen.
Guys, we didn't prepare to get this far down the tunnel, so we're gonna have to stop tonight.
I really thought you guys were gonna fight Connor.
I forgot about that.
you can see that it just says like kind of carved in the front that O'Leaf's office.
Does the door have any sort of like blemishes or anything? Like it was like hit with anything or scratched at? Or...
It looks as if there are several small dents and scratches on it, but
I'm gonna go try the door.
What did you say? What any writing was on it? I'm sorry.
yeah, it says O'Leaf's office.
O'Leaf.
OLYFF''S office. You go up and check the door. It's locked.
Alright. I'm gonna try to break this door.
Wait, I see you stepping back for a blow.
You might want to remain stealthy.
Wait. Can anybody actually unlock a door now that we don't have
I mean, why would we need to?
Phaedrus with
Break
us?
that shit down.
Noise.
I'm not worried about that.
Not
I
important.
welcome combat.
Not
Wait,
important.
is this a,
Brevity is the greater form of valor.
is this a metal door?
Wouldn't it be best to get this over with quickly? Draw them to us?
We don't know what the them is.
So worst case scenario, they come to fight.
Worst case
There we go.
scenario, there's
We're done.
some ancient beast down there that comes up here and drags us into an abyss of chaos.
Well, then we're dead. I mean, either way, that's what we're here to do, is it not?
I prefer
You
to
truly
live.
do not fear death.
God, no.
Well, I'd
I
much
do
prefer
respect
to
that.
live and roll my chances at living rather than breaking a door. As long as can anybody actually open a door with? Do we have lock picks? Do we have any of?
I don't think you have a set of lockpicks between all of you.
Well,
Nope.
Lily, don't you?
No.
I suppose then. And I step back. Good sir, if
I'm
you
going
might.
to stealthily as possible, try to break down this
I
door.
don't think that's
Make
possible.
make an athletics check.
Very diplomatic.
Are you raging?
I just
Forget what I
draw
just
my
said.
bow and just aim
Because
it
if not-
wherever the wooden structure is.
If not, you
and
don't
then
have
just running
advantage.
at
Good
it.
point.
I get the
Hey.
wand of magic missile ready. I don't know.
Wait, doesn't one of us have
I-
advantage on destroying structures or something like that?
My axe, if it's a hit, all right.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Natural 20.
First throw of the night.
Nice.
That's 3.
three crits.
That's ridiculous.
Nice.
That's alright.
We're
It's
gonna
alright.
get-
You're using them all now.
So natural 20 means it's like
We're gonna get
dead
their
silent,
initiative and
too,
then we're all
right?
gonna suck.
That's your stealth
Yeah,
attack.
That's your
Yeah.
stealth of the bang a metal door. Okay, yeah.
All of you see Zarn and Sindal taking weapons and pointing them down the tunnel ahead of you. Korak. Dun, dun, dun. Thump. You hit the door, and it's not like. But you hit it, and you managed to hold in the roar that you want to let as you are just charging headlong at this door. But you slam it with your shoulder, and you guys hear a wrenching sound as it the metal rips from the door hinge.
like
and
an
it-
abused bow.
there's one loud thump as it hits the ground, and it just stops right where it is. You can see before you what looks like a desk, a writing desk with chairs on this side, as well as a single chair on the other side. There are several shelves that are on. There are several shelves along the walls with different papers that are laid out, as well as on the back you can see it looks like a rough sketching of the operation that's going on.
Oh, beautiful. Is there any materials or weapons or anything?
Make an investigation check.
Perhaps money?
Three. You start going over to one of the shelves, and you start just flipping through the books and all the papers, just slowly, just very quickly, just dumping them onto the floor, looking around. I don't see anything.
Can I
Here's a
get
map
a
of the
second?
operation.
Yeah.
We're gonna grab that.
I can check that.
You go over and you can see up on the wall there is what looks like that there is the there's kind of two separate parts to it. There is the area that you guys are in. That essentially there is a tunnel where there is the living quarters and the unloading area, as well as the tunnel where you guys are seems to go a little bit further to whatever that wooden structure you guys saw before, and then there is a correlating one on the second, much larger portion of the map, where there's another diagram of that same wooden structure, and it looks like that it opens up into 3 separate tunnels that seem to kind of spider vein out, all leading back towards one larger chamber. And then there are 4 tunnels that are kind of going off that larger one. 3 of them seem to go off into. They seem to just kind of vein out and spider, and you can see that that's kind of the furthest points where the operation had gone. And the other 4th tunnel you can see seems to stretch out far away off the edge of the map.
He's investigating the rough draft.
Yeah,
This,
and you guys all kind of see this.
Is there a way I can take this map, or is it like?
Oh yeah, it's just essentially just pinned to the wall.
So I'll pull it up and scratch it.
As you pull it off the wall, you can see that there is a square metal plate on the wall with a combination lock on it.
Wow, just what I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
I was about to look. I'm certain that he would have hidden some of his more valuables somewhere.
Very elaborately hidden.
But I
behind
still
that
don't
piece
know
of piece of paper.
how to get in here.
It would be much more difficult to break through that.
Well, yes, I would. I mean, if we're going to restore this mining operation for these assholes, we should probably just rob them blind since they've already been robbed blind. So, if we can get in this, then I'd love to.
Correct. Can you punch through that metal?
No, but I'm sure.
That's a good call.
With his axe, probably.
Fenrir, can you punch through that metal plate?
As I was saying before, Korag just
There might be like, before we destroy everything, there may be delicate materials in there that are worth something, not cut in half.
Is there any way to detect if this is magically protected?
It's as if there's a spell that's just
Make an investigation check.
Is this like a combination lock that's like a lock, or is it like a spinny attached to the safe?
It's essentially
It's
what is your intelligence?
it's 11. No, 10.
Make it roll.
10. Okay, no, I couldn't remember if you had a negative intelligence. Because if you did, all you would see is numbers on it. It's essentially a It's not like it has like a spinning dial that comes out, but the numbers are kind of flush with it, and you can see that there is you have to spin it, and there are several concentric circles leading into this lock. It's
So
a
is
little
it
bit more
like-
complicated than your standard.
But is it like a
dial.
lock, or is it like a part of the safe? Could Fenrir hit just the lock with?
No, it
It's
is
like all
part
flush.
of the metal.
Yeah.
It is part of the metal plate.
My investigation check was a 7.
7?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be anything magical about it.
Okay.
Can I check? I'm gonna check. There's a desk.
Mhm.
Can I look around the desk and see if there's any like indication of what the combination of the lock might be?
Make an investigation check.
Since I kind of failed.
Well, I don't want to just be like, I'm gonna look around the room since Korak sucks.
Maybe you should. It's pretty much what I was.
That's a 19.
I scowl and look at the papers that he just threw off
Sorry,
the
what was
table.
19.
19?
That's how I am. I'm just going
Looking
like
around through the desk,
Yes.
Um,
Finally, I get to annoy
you
you
open up
guys.
several of the drawers. You can see that there's several different papers. You open up and you pull out the middle drawer, and as you go to kind of reach underneath, you just open up the top drawer. You can feel that there's something carved on the bottom side of this desk, and you kind of get down underneath it and you pull it out and you look, and you can see Sovereign's Day. It's just written in common. Sovereign's Day, 4th century.
Sovereign's Day, 4th century. Sovereign's
Seems like a good enough code to open up the lock.
What day is the Sovereign's Day of the 4th century?
Well, Sovereign's Day is the.
That was the Sovereign's Day festival. Was like when we first started, wasn't it?
Sovereign's Day.
It's like the first day of.
I mean, we would know this, right?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure it's
I was
common.
partially out of the
You-
woods of Caliceri at that point, and I was.
You know that Sovereign's Day takes place over the course of 2 days. Sovereign's Day takes place over essentially the 30th of, what would this be? The 30th of March and the 1st of
April.
Wait, I'm forgetting how years work.
31st.
Yeah, because it's spring, summer, fall, winter. So it would be not March and April. It would be 30th of September, 1st of October. Because it's the summer is in the second half of the bi-seasonal years. So it would be the I'm dumb. Is it the 8th? Is it the 8th and 9th or 9th and 10th?
9th and 10th.
9th and 10th. So it would be the 30th of September and the 1st of October.
You mean
How many numbers is this dial? What kind of?
Yeah,
so
is
it's-
it numbers? Is it symbols?
It's numbers. There are essentially 3 spinning parts to it with numbers on each part.
So 3. So it's essentially a
Or is it
combination.
day
It's a combination
Just
lock,
not-
yeah.
Or is it
Just
year,
with 3
month,
dials.
day? Because why not?
So I'd want to. So
No
I would have
one
to have. You'd have to have the
uses
3. So the way it looks is we'd have to have the 3 on the right number at the same time.
Correct. That's my understanding of it.
Make a history check. Make religion checks.
It said Sovereign's Day. What?
4th century.
4th century.
17.
Religion is a 17.
10.
10. Both of you know that in the time you remember reading about these in different scriptures, and you remember that just in reading that there was a shift in the way that Sovereign's Day was celebrated after the rupture. That previously it used to only be after the rupture. The leaders of the Church of the Sovereign Host thought that it would be better to expand the celebration to further prayer and celebration of the host, and the fact that the continent was able to survive past the event of the rupture. Before that, it was only celebrated on September 30th.
So. Zorn and
Sindal.
Sindal both know this.
What are the dials on? What are the dials go up to number wise?
Or they look
30.
everywhere else in the world, but they use them.
30. So what would it be? So we want to try like 9, 30, and 4.
Sounds like a good idea
Sounds
to me.
a reasonable starting place, yes.
If we want to take a few minutes, do you want to try and cast Detect Magic real quick, just to make sure I'm not going to blow up when I...
I suppose if we have 10 minutes to be certain that it's not completely magical, I might look for runes across the
Oh,
first.
friends, we have nothing but time.
I don't think we're super in a hurry at the moment.
So I guess I'll just
Was that
I'll look it over
sarcasm?
and look for any sort of runes. And
Make an investigation check.
I think from the looks of this, perhaps the contraption in front of us is some sort of lift that takes us down to the next level.
That's just what I was thinking as well, from the map.
17. You can see that going up and looking at it very closely, there are the 3 concentric circles that make up the number combination. You can see on the small gaps between where the circles meet, there are lines that show some kind of rune that is carved essentially into the tumbler of the lock.
Well, I suppose that it is probably trapped.
Booby trapped?
Magically or
Magically trapped, yes. These, do they seem arcane in nature?
Yes.
Yes. Magically enchanted for some sort of trap. So I suppose that if we guess, and we guess improperly, or should I say poorly, guess
Good old time.
poorly. Yes. Well,
How dangerous could this trap be?
We've encountered blight runes.
Blight runes?
Everyone step back. I'll give it a shot.
Just in case, I will not be in the room when this transpires.
Right.
So,
I want to cast a spell magic on it.
Oh, that fixes it.
Lily, you take a moment. Using the spell, you cast Dispel Magic.
I was under the impression no one had it available.
We're gonna go in. There's just gonna be like a piece of paper in it.
Well, it was
says,
so.
"Hi."
Don't you know it was so well hidden
If you just want to grab
behind that piece of paper that was pinned to the wall?
It's a lemon lime.
Is Dispel DISSP or
No,
just
one
DIS?
S. You cast Dispel Magic, and you see that the lines that are in between the combinations flash for a second, and then dissipate.
In the clutch. You guys are free to try any combination you want.
Should we assume that the inside could be mechanically trapped as well? Or should we?
Can we investigate that?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Here I go!
Can I help him even though I don't think.
Oh, close to a natural
roll.
20. I don't know what my investigation is. 21.
You don't see any kind of mechanical trap.
I'll try the 930 and 4.
You spin the tumblers.
Hey.
Opens up. Inside.
and inside is a hand, and it pulls you in.
No. Inside.
No.
You see that there is 4 pieces of well-cut gold. Essentially 4 bullion that are together with 4 of them are worth about 350 gold pieces.
Got some solid gold in
As well as a small pouch.
Oh, the real thing.
It kind of glitters as if there is, the bag itself is covered in glitter. You see it just kind of sitting on its side inside the safe.
How much were the gold pieces worth?
350.
A piece?
No, total.
It's a bag covered in glitter, pretty much.
That's what it looks like. Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
guys,
about
I just left my shit
it's
here.
about the size of about the size of a dice bag.
Oh my god, thank you so much.
I'll pick it up and share it.
Oh, I was good.
You said it was lighting out?
No, it just looks as if that it's covered in glitter. And you pick it up. It seems as if there's some kind of powder inside it.
Can I take a closer look at the powder?
You guys take a moment, open it up. It's cocaine. No.
That's cool.
Colombian.
Nice.
We're not leaving
Guys,
it
get
here.
ready to get deep into the slime.
As soon as I see it's a powder, I just snort it.
No, taking a look at it inside, you can see that it's
Can't get
this
himself.
very, very fine powder that's almost completely translucent. Take a moment looking inside it.
Does it look similar to the diamond powder that I've been using for shooting my spells?
Not quite, because the diamond is still like it's semi-transparent. This looks like you have to like kind of catch it in the light to properly be able to see this powder inside here.
I wonder if is there some sort of like metal or stone that we would know about that's very translucent like this?
Does it smell like lyrium?
Doesn't have that same sweet smell. Make an intelligence check. Just straight intelligence.
10.
10. Nothing really catches your your thought.
Should I hold on to it and identify it later?
That would work, yeah.
I rub some of it between my fingers.
Not a lot.
And it burns.
You go in and you get
It's not
you get a couple and you kind of rub it between your fingertips, and you see that the tips of your fingers you can't see them.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Korak does that?
Wow. But I believe that might have solved a bit of what it might be, but
You'd actually dissolve your fingertips.
They're just gone.
Some sort of dust of invisibility.
It's alright. When I get access to 8th-level spells, I'll grow your fingers back.
They're there. I just poked one. It's alright. They
You-
there.
you-
They are there, right?
Yeah, you kind of
They're in the shadow realm.
You're kind of sitting here and you're like trying to press the knuckles together, but you can still feel your fingertips there.
Okay.
Your fingers have just dissolved painlessly, though.
Yeah,
They're just gone.
absolutely had no idea.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Really like those fingers.
Have them whole life.
So who's currently holding on to that?
Should
Me.
No.
In the bag of holding.
Lily?
Well, I guess Korak would be the one to be holding it right now, unless somebody else wants to take it off him. He's the one that actually dipped his fingers in and applied his fingertips.
Would you like me to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hold this. Identify it later to be sure of what we're playing with, or do you want to hold on to it so you can
Play with it.
Lily,
I
I see you're extraordinarily excited about this bag.
Me and Albert had
Anyone.
a deal that I got the next magic item.
Can anyone think of any practical use for this while we're down here?
You did. You were given the eye, remember?
Anyone?
What?
Practical use
One
of this
time
while
use.
we're down here.
Yeah, it sounds something invisible, but it could be useful if we need to sneak somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
How long is it?
It is essentially, because he has the card and you guys all know what it is. It's essentially it's dust of disappearance. It has
Man.
yeah.
Essentially. Lily, essentially. I believe that, seeing as how it's worked on his fingers, if you just spread it across your body, you would disappear for a while. It's sort of sporadic since you're throwing it up in the air. You might disappear for only a few minutes or maybe a longer time.
Quick. If I were to attack something.
Well, don't the three of you also already have invisibility spells? at your
Yeah, but
disposal?
if I attack someone, that wears off.
That's what I'm asking. If I were to attack someone, does the
I would assume I
magical...
wouldn't know actually.
I don't think that
about
would.
whether or not the attacking thing. Because I don't.
See, I don't know how identify
Yeah,
works.
there's no way for me to know that.
I don't know how it would work.
I'm fine because you guys kind of did actually experiment with it instead of just being like, okay, let's just be nice and safe and just put it away and then we'll identify it later. Yeah, it essentially works like invisibility.
You do your would be revealed.
You become revealed after you use it,
Oh.
and it is random
Maybe we
how
should
long it
sell it
lasts.
instead.
I mean, we could.
Well, I mean, we could worry about that later. Let's see if it comes in handy.
Yes, let's carry it. So,
Right, it might be interesting to use as an ingredient to make something else either too.
Oh,
It's like a,
that's an interesting idea. I like
I
that.
suppose if we move forward and it seems necessary to use, I'm full on.
What are you doing?
He's
Bag.
holding up the bag.
Bag of holding.
For this?
Just put it in there. What are you going to do with it?
That's true enough. Well, I don't have invisibility prepared today, but fine. Whatever you say.
Hold on to
let's
it
all
for a few
buy
months.
let's all
I
bags
just, you
bags
know-
of holding and then be super greedy about everything.
I think it'd be better to have it on
Just so
bag.
you all know,
I believe.
anything that actually, like, you guys put all this stuff in my bag of holding, it just becomes mine.
Failure is the least likely to die, so
I'm going to hold
And the
on
most
to
of it
this.
is proficient with every single
Alright,
weapon.
fair enough.
So
I'm proficient with not dying with a bag of holding.
Powder disappearing, I'm proficient with that.
So,
Alright, so Sindal hangs on to it.
Sindal's holding on to the dust.
okay.
So you guys go back out
Shall
into.
we? Towards the elevator?
I missed that part.
Yeah, you come back out into the passageway. You continue on a little bit further, and as you come towards it, you can see with your lights upheld, you can see this wooden structure that, from the time that some of you have spent in Sigil Star, some of you have actually seen something like this before. It is an elevator.
That's so exciting.
You can see that the metal tracks lead up to and onto the platform that is currently raised at your level, and it looks as if there is a locking mechanism to lock the cart in place. But as you kind of come up to seeing where it is, you can see that that there is a contraption that you guess would be the lever. Sorry, I'm just making sure nobody's like, "Hey, the stream's dead." As you come up to it, you can see that the lever is snapped off. You can see the chain up ahead, that the chain that leads overhead, that looks as if that it is currently stretched fully out, and looks. You see the wheel that it would wind around to pull itself down.
So, can I look at the mechanism that the lever was attached to that would lock it? Just
Oh, like the lever?
Yeah, because the lever's busted off, right?
Yeah.
So what
yeah.
does the lever actually control? Is it a manually used one that the lever just holds the cart in place, or does it actually activate some mechanism that moves the elevator?
Make an investigation check.
$19.
Taking a look at it, it looks as if that there is based on the way it works, is that essentially it is a pulley system of sorts. It being up at the top is actually its natural resting position. There will need to be, essentially, to get down, you will need to pull the chains to get yourselves down to the bottom.
And how big is it?
It's pretty big. It's going to require at least 2 people to pull the chains.
Can it hold all of us then?
Yeah, I'm just kind of based off the size of the track, you can guess that this is built to carry fairly heavy weight.
Okay.
So, you guys all pile onto it. I need 2 of you
I wonder.
to make strength checks.
Alright, I got
Should
it.
I rage?
And I'll say that this is
Oh,
not just
Lily,
not just
stand
strength,
back.
but
Lily,
athletics.
stand back, please.
I don't like that.
I think Fenrir just...
Is this just athletics?
Yeah.
15.
Hey, we tied. That's so cute.
You guys grab the chains and you guys start
Take your shirt off
slowly
first.
pulling them down and looping them around the mechanism that it's supposed to naturally wrap itself around. You guys slowly start pulling the chain down. You guys are probably about, work yourselves down about 30, 40 feet. I need you both to make athletic checks again.
Ooh. It's Jock's locking up in here.
Mm.
Can I, can we see the bottom hole?
From where you are currently, kind of based off the way it is, you can't actually look down the side of it to see down. It's kind of the whole platform is kind
so
of
it rains on
you know, like
the water's just dripping all over
18.
you.
So there's like walls on every side?
It's essentially like there are this chute
It's solid.
is solid,
Okay.
and then there is space, but it's the wooden supports that kind of hold it up, and then there are like cross beams that block you from looking further down.
And you'd be like, "Fuck, are you guys doing?" You're so right.
We're lowering ourselves?
Hey,
Yes.
hey,
My second one was 12.
Cody. I'm gonna cast guidance on my good friend.
He already made the roll.
I told you. I told you you can't retcon it. I was just telling
So-
you afterwards.
As you continue to lower yourselves down, Fenrir, you go to change your grip, and you guys have sweat starting to roll down your faces. With Fenrir, the chain looses in your grip, and the elevator, you hear this grinding sound as one half of the chain kind of lets loose. You manage to catch the chain before too much, and you pull it back down. I need you both to make athletic checks again.
Oh shit. Should I rage?
Is there any room for
I
2
will-
people to help?
Hey.
Or-
I'll guidance this.
Who are you touching?
Did he already roll?
We're gonna roll a different die.
I don't know. Did you roll yet?
I mean, I just rolled.
Did you? Okay. You can,
It doesn't
you can
matter.
add an extra d4.
Save it.
No, it's guidance. It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip. You can add an extra d4.
Basically, I'm looking for an excuse to rub my hands on your sweaty body.
Alright.
21.
Such a small frame, just makes it
28.
more attractive.
Just Rusty, describe the action of presenting him with
No.
guidance.
Gentle caressing around his biceps.
About another
Glistening.
3 to 4 minutes. Another 3 to 4 minutes pass as you just hear the It's kind of silent as you just hear the two of them just slowly struggling, pulling this down, the sound of the chains and gears grinding, until eventually the light, you guys can kind of see that there is a gap at the bottom of the chute that you can kind of see out as the elevator reaches the bottom. The two of you go and kind of lock the chains and kind of set them in a way that they kind of hook onto something to lock the elevator in place. You can see that there is a small, and there's a chamber around you where you can see that there are 3 tunnels that lead off to the left, right, and center, with rail carts that lead up to kind of in the center of this is like a meeting point that all then from that one singular meeting point come to the elevator. It looks as if all these 3 tunnels lead to this point, that this is the only elevator chute up. Taking a moment, looking around, you see that there is carnage around you. You can see that there is blood leading right up to the edge of the elevator. You can see that there is, you see a
Lovely.
disembodied arm, stains of blood, large rake marks in the stone, and you see the rail that is straight ahead of you is largely rended and bent, not like ripped up and gone, but like bent and crushed further down the tunnel out of line of sight from your the light from that you guys carry.
Is there corpses here?
There is several small body parts, like an arm that from about like midway down. That is the most of a body that you could find.
Was this elevator like, because I'm trying to draw a map. So we walked into it, and then is the exit.
It went down.
So we went down, so like we walked in, and then was the exit straight ahead of where we were, or did we have to turn around? So I'm trying to figure out.
It was straight ahead from where you were.
Okay, so the map's going to continue off in that direction.
The limbs that are like ripped up and stuff, do they look like they are like clean cut or like jagged, like ripped apart? Like
The flesh was torn.
yes, that.
Make a medicine check.
Medicine. Never use medicine. 15.
15. Take a moment to come up and look at it. It looks like it was torn. Like it looks like that there was some element of something slicing, but it looks as if that it kind of get the idea that something bit and tore.
Is there any kind of nature animal type check that I could identify these wounds with?
There's not really a lot to go off of with a wound.
There's not really a wound. There's just an
There's
arm.
just a singular arm. Yeah, a wound would be more if there was like a half-eaten corpse. You could get an idea, but just an arm that is essentially bitten clean off here. You get the idea that it's probably something big if it left the hand and the rest of the body is gone.
Judging by the amount of blood and only a few scattered body parts, I believe that it's possibly killed and then come back for its murdered or victims or
Prey.
prey. Yes. At a later point, or I should hope not that it took them all at once, otherwise that would be quite a large creature that they possibly awoke in this mind.
Zon, can you get that map out?
Yeah.
I pull up the map.
Is there like any indication that any of the passages are shorter or would take less time to explore?
Taking a look at it, it doesn't look like that any are particularly longer. The one that's straight ahead is the clearest shot. I mean, it is shorter than the other two paths. The other two seem to kind of arc out, and then there are reaching tunnels off of those ones. But it looks as if there is the 3 main tunnels all converge in a larger chamber where it looks as if the mining went on from there.
Oh.
Which direction does all of this blood spill head?
That.
Which of the 3 tunnels do you want to go look down?
I don't know. Does the blood go everywhere, or does it go in one direction?
You guys are essentially just stepped off of the elevator, and then
Oh,
you can see
yes.
that there's blood all over this chamber, but the tunnels are a little bit further away. You need to kind of go and look at
I'll
them.
go a little further myself with my axe lit.
Um,
And
left, right, center.
I'll go left.
Take a moment to kind of go up towards it. You see that there is down. You can see that there is some, not. There is some blood, but it looks as if it doesn't look as if like a body was opened up here or anything like that. There is some trail. There's some like slight trails of blood, but nothing like. It's not like the walls are painted down this tunnel.
Okay. Can I move over and just investigate the other 2 as well?
Yeah.
Myself.
The center tunnel. There's a long trail of blood. That there are several that kind of lead down. Further down this tunnel, and then to the right, looks clear.
Okay. Is either of the tunnels blood fresher than the other? Does it not seem to have an indication?
Make a medicine check.
Ooh, medicine.
We're here to find out why operations stop. Correct.
We're here
Find
to-
out why and stop. Whatever stopped.
We know why.
Natural
So think
one.
about everything.
Natural 1. Looks like blood.
Nice.
There's blood here.
So,
It's all dry.
the most direct route to whatever.
Oh, great work, Clark. Thank you. I've been practicing my medicine skills.
It really says how genuine you feel about that.
Quark's not like an idiot.
The most direct routes would be going straight through the bloodshed. Perhaps taking one of the side routes would lead us a safer route. Perhaps whatever this is, we can get a better surprise on it.
Well, your map.
Yeah, it says they all converge again, correct?
Yes. If this, whatever this is, could be in the big room.
Indeed.
You said once these 3 tunnels converge again into a larger room, that's when they kind of all spider out to the smaller mining tunnels.
Yeah, there were. It's essentially that there are these 3 that come from the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
That the center one goes straight ahead, but there's some minor offshoots that don't really seem to go too far.
Okay.
The ones that go further out, that they have some spidering tunnels. That they don't seem to go too far either. They all reconvene at a large central chamber, and then from there are 4 tunnels that seem to go off into. You kind of get the idea that it looks like that this might have that was where the forward stretching tunnels were. Like that's where they were working from. Is at central, and then there was 1 tunnel that went off the edge of the map.
Okay. So Zarn, you're suggesting to take one of the safer tunnels with less gore?
It's merely an observation that it might be safer, but whatever this is, we have to deal with it. That's what our job is. So.
I could put an argument towards each way. If we go towards the more bloody way, we might face less resistance, being that they have already feasted and, well, I say they, I assume that there's probably more than one creature. I can't imagine that they simply woke one creature, maybe somehow a nest of some sort. It's my first thought, my worrisome thought, I should say. If we go towards the less traveled or bloodied path, I would think that maybe they might still be looking for survivors that might still find a way to survive out there. Although I know it's been quite some time.
It's been a while since this place was abandoned, I believe.
At least as long as it took us to get here.
Okay. I would like to cast Divine Sense.
There you go. That is to sense for
Fiends, demons, and undead.
Celestial, Fiend, or Undead. As well as objects that are consecrated or desecrated with the Hallow spell within 60 feet.
Taking a moment. You clutch the wolf pendant around your neck. And you hear Lune kind of give this low hum behind you. You don't sense any of the three in a 30-foot or in a 60-foot direction around you. You don't sense any of them.
Okay. Is an ASMR actually considered celestial, or?
Well, you sense.
No, like.
Yeah.
It is.
I believe that you are actually considered
Creeping me
celestial. I will double check this right
You
now.
look at him and you see like an outline of a hot air, except
By
he's
the way,
naked and
that's
just shining.
that's what I said to him. I was like, Rusty, you're not allowed to retcon that one. I was like, but this is the perfect reason for our bear to cast guidance, where he would just be like,
Just to touch other men.
Actually, I
rubbing
need
his
to check one more
shoulder.
thing before we continue.
Because
Just,
there
like,
are some
scans
spells that
the
I was
room and
looking at
sees this
that
glowing
have like
outline of
effects,
all there
like
with
they
a
prevent things
gigantic
for
erection.
celestial creatures.
I think it's funny.
no.
I think it's funny that Lily thinks this is creepy, but her and Zarn are, you know,
Hey, nothing has happened there yet.
that's what we do. That's what we
Don't
do.
lie.
That's what we're told.
You technically are
She's like a
considered
sister
humanoid
figure.
because tieflings are considered
Don't say
humanoid as
it.
well.
Okay.
They are not considered.
Don't say sister figure either.
Yeah.
So you are considered
Oh,
humanoid.
boy.
Dragon's not handed
Alright.
They get
One
you
thing I
better.
do want to check.
Oh boy. Done.
Alright. I was just
That was
looking at
well
how that was spelling through.
That was
like,
well-
if I cast this, but oh wait, it says it prevents celestials from coming.
No,
here.
you-
It's
you
like,
would-
just
you
like
would
immediately
Have
bounce
sex
me
with
out.
Lily.
No, that was funny.
Okay. No, you don't sense anything.
So I fear that we're going to spend and waste more time talking about this than if we just go the long way.
Well, we might as well pick a way.
Exactly.
Picking a way is better than
Let's pick a
Let's
way.
go left.
yes.
Let's go left.
Do you think we should
Okay.
pick a way?
Left is the middle ground, blood
That's
way.
this was my reasoning.
So you go left.
Sure.
That'll be easier.
The middle
to
ground
draw.
blood way.
I pick up a bow and fire.
Traveling to the left, you see that there is, again, the rail cart, or the,
Oh, did railroads go from each way?
yeah, all three of them.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
The center one looks like it was largely beaten up or destroyed further down the tunnel. The one to the left looks intact.
Last time there was rail carts. Remember who we dealt with?
We went on a
Me?
magical journey of adventure and
Oh, it
excitement.
was pretty much just me, Lily, and Albert back then. Oh man, that guy was weird. I
Mm.
hope we don't run into him down here.
He's
Run into
still
who?
alive. Little crab man.
If you see a crab man, kill him.
Alienating audience and
Wait.
half the group.
Is it who I... Yeah, I remember now.
They're allowed to. They're allowed to share stories.
This man,
Killed him.
man named Tootloop dude we dealt with before in one of our previous adventures.
No. His name wasn't Tuplukdu. That was the god that he was worshipping.
Well, he became Tootloop dude.
He was Tuplukdu.
Yeah.
The Kuatoa worshipped him.
I've seen this around.
And
This
there's...
weird, these weird.
Anyways,
These weird fishmen worshipped him, and he turned into their god. Pretty much, it's real strange. It was real strange. We had a small blue man traveling with us at the time.
Yeah.
The best, man.
Kill stealer. I think.
Let's... You gotta leave this man because
So.
I have damage too.
you continue traveling down this path. The bit of blood that you're seeing looks almost like, kind of looking on the walls as you're going, it looks more like bloody handprints or small like droplets of blood along the way. It looks more like injured or coming through here more than anything else. It doesn't look like that there's the central tunnel looked like a body was dragged through there. This looks more like blood was coming out. Traveling along the railway about 10-15 minutes, you can see that there is the wooden frames that hold the tunnel up. You can see that there is long burnt out torches all along the way. You come around a corner and you can see that there is carnival music. Another kind of widening and opening. It looks like that there is the cart path kind of goes straight through this chamber to the other side, further down the tunnel, and it looks as if there is like a small secondary one that looks as if you could roll a cart off to the side, and you can see that there is piles of stone, just like raw, like kind of broken chunks of stone that are kind of thrown off to the one side of the platform. There are 2 small tables with several implements that are sitting on them, and you can see Bear being the first to come around the corner. You can see that there is a large hole in the wall with rubble that kind of falls out away from where the hole was.
Like how
at
big
this point,
is this like a hole you could walk through, or
yes,
like
it looks like it's a little bit bigger than you are, but from where you're currently standing, you can't really see too much.
I'll peek in.
Okay. You guys walk a little bit further in, make a perception check.
20.
I probably should have asked. Were you guys being quiet?
I have no intention of being quiet.
Okay.
I mean,
What? I kind
We
of
got
assumed we
into the
would.
mine and like smashed a door.
They would have
immediately.
probably, because I'm not uncooperative with them, and if I was being loud, they probably told me. to
First
stop
of all,
being loud.
that was at the
Okay.
top of an elevator shaft.
Correct.
That's quite far away.
Stealth checks. Before I know what your perception check was, stealth checks.
Pass without a trace.
Ooh. So I get a plus 10?
Everybody gains a plus 10 to theirs.
Self is dexterity.
Remember to
isn't
roll
it? Yes.
disadvantage for yourself and Lunae, because I forgot that she has splint mail.
She has armor now.
2, 3.
Wow.
31.
32.
26.
14 and 15.
26. 2.4, 5.
You're welcome, Finn.
Oh shit. That was a pass without a trace.
I have to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, I rolled with advantage, and my one was a 3, so I feel you there.
As you and the group kind of travel a little bit further in, Albert, you take a few steps ahead up to where the hole is, and you can see that it looks as if that there is, and like this section where you're currently standing looks more like worked stone a little bit. It looks, and you can kind of see on the tables that there is a few. There's like a set of brass scales with a few small like jewelers-looking eyepieces, and it looks as if that this is somewhere like it's kind of a stopping station where they kind of filter through some of the material that's on this minecart, and that's kind of where you get the idea for where the stone is being thrown off. That they're filtering off and just keeping the good stuff before sending it further up the tunnel. But seeing the opening kind of ahead of you, you can see that the rubble is kind of broken into through the cut stone, laying out around, and you can see right where it is that there is blood as well as a corpse with the chest kind of like ripped open, and the face is almost entirely destroyed.
Can I survival check this for you?
Does he look like a human?
Looks human,
Was.
but
What the fuck are these things called?
make a survival check.
I'd like to.
Does
Or medicine.
It's gonna depend. Like, what do you?
I like medicine.
Medicine is more to actually identify what has happened.
Use luck.
So this is within this hole in the wall.
This is in the there's like another kind of chamber with like a almost like
better.
a stopping station.
Yeah, where there's scales and stuff.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's in this chamber. Like
There's
kind
a
of
hole in the wall.
There's
in
a
this
hole in the
chamber.
wall where it's broken out, and then this corpse is like right past where the broken rubble is, like right by
Inside
it.
the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
16.
It's just one corpse.
Taking a look at it, you can see that it looks like that there are. It looks like large not like gigantic, but it looks as if there were large claws that kind of ripped into it. You can see that it looks like there are large pincers that kind of ripped into the neck and ripped up on the jaw, kind of essentially exposing. It essentially ripped the face off to get into the juice that's underneath.
Nothing came out of it.
Except
No,
his
it
juices.
looks like something went like fingers first into the chest and ripped it open.
It just took all its apple juice out of its stomach and then left it. Something else killed it.
It drank all the juice boxes that day.
Zon, how
Correct.
deep
Make a
does
perception check.
how deep does this tunnel go? Further.
I was on a natural 20, then it shifted. 11.
Is this
11.
this thing that was knocked in? Is this for like a tunnel that goes a different direction?
Make an investigation check.
I'm looking for a time frame.
15. Taking a moment, kind of walking up to the tunnel and looking at it, you see that there is no torches. There are no support beams. It looks as if that this is a almost slightly larger than yourself tunnel that was bored through the stone. Correct. As you're seeing everyone standing here looking at this, you feel a slight tremor underneath your feet.
Does it?
Do I have time to
do I
cast a
think
spell
anyone
on
else
myself?
would feel it?
Yeah,
Do I think it's obvious?
It was very subtle.
Very subtle. Yeah. Boy, do you guys feel that?
No.
No.
You didn't feel that. Shifting beneath our feet.
You all feel a slightly heavier vibrating that doesn't seem to stop. It's getting louder.
Nobody move.
I don't know what to do.
I cast False Life 2nd level on myself.
I rub the invisible all over myself.
As you cast False Life on yourself, go ahead and roll your d4s to get your temporary hit points.
Pull out my bow and get ready to shoot.
You hear, as suddenly you hear the sound of stone breaking as you see it break open, and with the light you can see this large hulking form, brown carapace and armor, long kind of bulbous arms with these large mandibles and these small, tiny, beady black eyes with antennae coming out of the top of its heads. Its shoulders hunched as you see it burst through the wall to the right. And Zarn, as you take a moment and see that, you hear chittering from down the tunnel as you turn and look, and you see another one coming up the tunnel behind you. I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Is it the Clopster?
That's
It's
the
the lobster.
That's what it is.
You know what?
I can't even.
It's the cockroach people from Terraformers.
I never even bothered watching that. Just
I
because
didn't
of the,
either, but it was
the
so ridiculous.
horrible censorship.
They still, you've seen the ridiculous looking cockroach muscle men?
Yes, I have.
That's what we're fighting.
I wrote
Hey, it's
first,
8 o'clock. Do we
second,
want to take a break?
third, and then I wrote fifth,
It's
sixth.
already.
It's 8 o'clock. Do we want to take a break before we get into this?
We're going to do this first.
Pens are up 1-0.
Tangle.
Tanger got the old power play goal.
Now there's no reason to take a break.
Oh.
You mean because we're gonna end this in like 10 seconds? Yeah, Fenrir's here. Someone cast haste on and boom. First round, it's over.
No, I actually have haste.
There you go.
Not prepared.
Don't worry.
I don't prepare that for him.
Well, fortunately, Fenrir has passive haste, so.
Passive haste. That's a strong.
Auto haste.
You just always have haste.
Auto cast haste.
Except there's no 6-round issue. You just always haste.
It takes 10 rounds.
Auto crit on initiative roll.
Haste
That was
is
a minute.
a minute, 10 rounds.
You're right. I'm wrong.
I was wondering why there was a bunch
Really
of
bad
papers
memory.
over the battle map. I was like, is that some sort of puzzle we're gonna have to figure out? It was just,
Just covering what we haven't uncovered.
yeah, it was. That makes more sense. What about there? This one you can kind of see through, and it looks like there's a treasure chest on it. So I was like, is there gonna be some sort of loot?
That's what we should go.
Is it gonna be our loot? We should go there. Whatever that is, we don't want it.
Cody's gonna start printing treasure chests on the other
Just
side.
so
You
yes.
say these creatures almost look like crab-like?
Crab people.
Do you have a picture
Are we allowed?
No.
We're not allowed to see it till after.
I don't show pictures until after the
They
encounter.
made an anime about
You
it.
see,
It's almost like we would
Ahead of
have
you,
fought
Zarn.
one
They
of
look
these
carb-like.
before in another location.
Where's that?
the two creatures have broken through the walls ahead of you.
Oh, it is.
Is that what it looks like?
This is what it looks like.
That's awesome.
We would have fought him underneath the tunnels under those 3 fortresses.
The junction?
Yeah.
Junctions?
Roll initiative. One time I always roll really well. Initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always roll really
It's
well.
initiative, 25 to 20.
I have a 22.
21. I'm glad this 3-week break has relieved me of my shitty rolls all the time. Of course, now that I've said that, fucking wood demons.
I don't know, that's more
Wood
of a...
demons?
Yeah, that's why you knock on wood, scare away the wood demons.
Oh, scare away the wood demons!
20 to 15.
19.
15.
16.
Oh, wow.
You are rolling only for yourself. Because we remember we lumped in yours and you did. Sorry.
17.
19?
19.
19.
17?
I'm 15.
Oh yeah, Eric.
Sure,
This is my
it's
new
16, I think.
prepared spell list and items and everything book.
Listen, I like the app for prepared spells, but
So
I'm just gonna make Sarah make me one of those.
that's the code and fifth
Okay.
I like having like 7 different things laid out in front of me.
Yes.
Yeah?
It feels more D&D right now.
That's actually
dumbass.
very true. I don't want to be it sounds like you're joking, but I don't think you are.
Hey, that's what I do all the time.
Fifth, sixth, and I was like, sixth.
I always have a goddamn solitaire board out for me.
Because there's only 5th level spells.
Well, like a Yu-Gi-Oh!
So my
Magic.
so
That was
this
supposed to be
first.
I have my passive spells up here that
Okay.
I always have, and then there's subjugated to each level.
That's nice.
Sindal,
It's actually nice.
you're up first.
Okay, so
Oh, you actually did get first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
You are here kind of in the center.
cool.
Oh.
Do you have a screen for them?
For what?
Do you have a screen for them on
No.
that side? Okay. I could totally bring them.
The problem is that it interferes, it takes up bandwidth. Unless you have some other, unless you plan on burning data.
I mean, I could do that. I have unlimited now.
Well,
Verizon
Um,
released unlimited.
This episode brought to you by
Verizon.
Verizon. Unlimited
Get
data.
unlimited data for $12 a month over your whole plan.
Is that literally a thing now?
Well, actually, it means
Wow, that sounds like a great deal.
It
Verizon?
really is. It's crazy.
Wow.
Verizon wireless services is awesome.
I can't believe Verizon Wireless.
My dad, we had an overage one month, and my dad called to pay it because he's the
Sindal,
60
start of your turn. As you see this creature kind of burst through the wall, you see it, and you feel your mind start to not really understand what it is. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
14 between.
Are you near me?
It's like $2 more than
Is
that.
he near me?
Yes.
3. So that's plus 3 to my charisma.
Sarah has her
It's just me and
8.
You feel as you see your attention is drawn fully towards the 2 small beady black eyes, and you feel yourself kind of go slack.
I guess if you guys do it 3 times as many people on one.
Okay. Somebody next to you. So,
Right.
all of you see is as this creature bursts through the wall, you see Sindal turn and stare at it. His hands just kind of go limp. He just turns and looks confused at the creature.
And that's that one?
This one here.
Man.
Sindal's confused.
Wait, Sindal's confused.
Sindal's confused.
Ah.
Correct. You're up.
I wouldn't notice that. I'm focused on this bitch now.
Correct. As you turn and look at this creature, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Hold on.
Are you close?
I don't see it.
What's the
Ah,
range?
I'm
What's the
pretty
range
close.
on your thing?
What's the 10?
You're out of range.
Damn it. Charisma's a big old +0. a 4.
You scared me.
Make a nature check. Because I didn't think about that.
Nature is a 16.
We're gonna take a step back.
Okay.
Because of your studies,
Excuse me.
you would know what this creature is.
Okay.
This is an Umber Hulk.
That name.
And you know that if you look at them, the stories go that most people that encounter these things, if they live, they don't remember them. The mere sight of them drives people crazy. So, on your turn, you can choose to avert your eyes. And you will essentially be treated like you cannot see the creature at all.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can look at it and risk at which point.
Right. Let me think. Am I allowed to voice that out then? Should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it had been anyone else, I had to take a moment and think like, oh yeah, I guess I guess Sindal is a practitioner of study, so
Good thing you went first.
That's a natural +5 on that.
Yeah.
Like just with no.
yeah.
So on that, I would just yell out, "Don't look at him! Don't look at it! Don't look!" And I'm not sure what I can actually cast on them without, because I don't know the a lot of my things. I'm going to.
If it's anything that would take an attack roll, you can make an attack, but
I know the spell I wanted to cast. Hold on, give me a second. Spell I wanted to cast. Okay, so if I cannot see him, so I'll admit that one. It's mind of a creature that you can see.
Yeah, you
Within
cannot see
range.
one.
Okay, so
Unless-
instead, because I don't. I think I have my other. This is my second plan. Okay, so my second plan is that I'm going to the one that bothered me, that had stepped out because he's the one that I averted my eyes from. I'm going to. There was a tunnel behind him slightly.
Yeah, there's the tunnel behind him that he just burst through.
I'm going to cast Fear behind him and try and just grab him in a fear.
Okay.
We're both terrified of each other.
Fear.
Oh, creature.
Makes a wisdom saving throw. That's a natural 1.
I think he fails.
So, you see Sindal kind of throw his eyes down to the ground beside him as he throws off an incantation, and you see the creature that suddenly was there in front of you suddenly take a step back. And it is feared. Does it take its reaction to flee?
Well, Ferdinand must take
thought
the
it-
dash action and move away from you.
No, that's only dissonant whispers that makes him run as a reaction.
Yeah, I thought it was. It just can't get closer. Is what I thought.
It's part of the spell. It has to. My main thing was I was worried about if it had to take a reaction to run, but it doesn't. So.
Right.
Okay.
So, Korak, you're up.
So I look back at Sindal like he's an idiot, and I go into a rage, and then I look straight at this thing and I run towards it.
Make a charisma saving throw.
That's a natural 1.
Told you.
That
You're in
sucks.
initiative. Gonna lose all our good rolls.
Yeah, seriously.
I really need to leave this page open for these guys.
I didn't pay much attention during this episode of Critical Role.
It's,
Also, I could tell by the printout that it was.
you see as Korak goes into a rage. And you just see him just stand and stare at this creature. He slightly cocks his head to the side, a little bit confused. Next up is...
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So, do they have to run?
Oh, sorry, I just closed it.
Go ahead and look that up. In the meantime, Zarn,
Oh no.
this creature comes running up to you.
Me?
And you being... Let me see.
That's actually the sound of Korak screaming.
It's so melodic.
You see it as it comes running up to you, Zarn. It comes running up, and you just see its claws naturally kind of grip through and rip through the stone, naturally kind of carving out this part of the tunnel as it sees you and the particularly small and juicy little morsel that is right behind you.
Oh no.
And it makes 3 attacks.
Supple
away from
flesh.
One with its mandibles against Lily, and then 2 with its claws against you. The 2 claws. Those are both.
That's +5 to armor.
That's only 13 versus you for both.
Miss.
And then for the one against Lily, that's a 25 versus armor class.
Fuck. Not even remotely close.
What's your armor class?
You said
18.
28.
18.
What did you say?
Not close enough.
Say
25.
25.
That's 2 away.
You take
Not good enough.
8 points of slashing damage as the mandible kind of sinks down and it kind of rakes a little bit into your shoulder. Not digging too much into the armor, but you can feel it kind of bruising underneath where it bit into you.
But just to be clear, I screwed up. It is a 30-foot cone from me towards the creature.
Yeah. Does that
Wait a
affect
minute.
everything?
That
Which-
would put
which
you
would
in the line of
include-
sight of well.
Oh, great! I'm so good at
So
wisdom.
make another wisdom saving. So make a wisdom saving throw.
You're afraid of
fail.
I didn't mean to do that.
I think the way fear works is that you can't move any closer to the thing.
That's what I thought.
I didn't
too.
know. I didn't know if the spell specified that it had.
No,
to take a
there's
dash action.
there's more.
It does
But
say.
I'm just re-clearing that because I definitely had cast it on him.
While frightened by the spell, a creature must take the dash action and move away from you by the safest available route.
Maybe I'm just thinking of frightening presence from dragons.
And
I
you
was
might be
thinking of
thinking
fear,
of
but
dissonant
yeah.
whispers. And
Well, I was thinking the same
that's all.
thing, right?
It's
Make
all-
your
7.
so
A little more retconning.
no, because you still, even with your fear, you still didn't avert your eyes from this creature, and it's still, even just it seeing you, you're still captivated.
Your mind is
and
just
you are
fucked right
essentially
now.
you're afraid of Sindal,
Well, no, but I mean,
but
on
this
my turn-
creature has blanked your head. You're not in a
I
rage.
guess I didn't really take an action.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't even get to go
But
into
don't I
a
have to
rage.
take an action, a dash action, and run away from him?
No, because the effect,
Because of the
effect
of
of
the emerald.
this
Okay.
creature makes it so that you do nothing.
Righto.
I feel
Right, so-
really bad saying this, but I'm totally lost as to what's happening right now.
Dude, there's a lot
So
going
essentially,
on.
we kind of screwed some things up. He casted fear on this
Why did
creature.
he have to make a Constitution saving throw?
He made a charisma saving throw because this creature has some effect around
Okay,
it.
if you look at it.
If you look at it,
Okay.
he casted fear, which caught Korak and the creature in it.
Okay.
Korak
This is ridiculous.
saw the creature, and in seeing that, whatever its effect is, he just stood still and does nothing.
Okay.
The creature, on its turn, turns and runs. What is
The safest,
30 feet.
safest route.
available
30 feet.
route? You see it
No, wait.
start to run into the darkness out of line of sight. You just see it just start to go back down the tunnel that it just ran through.
And this is
So make the
from
wisdom,
his
make the
casting
wisdom
the
saving throw
fear.
every round.
Does it have line of sight on me once it's done moving?
No.
Yeah.
It does not have line of sight.
Then it gets to make
Then it gets to make its wisdom saving throw.
Okay. What's your DC?
17.
So then at the end of your turn,
Wait, I don't see him at the end of my turn.
his turn is after you.
No, him. Do I get to make another wisdom saving throw at the end of my turn?
No, because he's still in line. He's still in line of sight of you. The creature went around the edge of a tunnel.
Yeah, but I can't see him.
I'll bear you're up.
Fuck me.
You're up, Albert.
I just spent another
All right,
fight completely incapacitated.
Are you going to avert your eyes or no?
I'm not gonna avert my eyes.
Okay, make a charisma saving throw.
Bold strategies out here.
It's charisma.
Cody, I had a question.
Plus,
about
I'm
this.
in, what's his aura?
I just thought you were being stupid.
For me?
Yeah. I
Oh,
was just
wow.
Like, what the fuck are you talking
Talk about
dog? I'm
hubris.
gonna go kill this.
Albert, you're within 10 feet of me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would gain a
Plus three.
plus 3.
It doesn't matter, I rolled a 1.
Ooh.
Although, with that 1, it still turns out to be an 11. But
One
it
is
doesn't
Fair
matter.
all those natural 20s.
It was,
totally
it was all
fine.
those natural
Huh?
20s.
You were so right.
About
As soon as initiative
The
second.
ninth
Oh,
started
yeah.
out.
Natural
3 natural 20s.
Albert, on your turn, you look at the creature,
Jesus.
and you turn and you just bolt down the tunnel that it came in. And you move your full movement. 1, 2, 3. In the process,
knocking over.
knocking over Zarn,
Oh,
kind
Zarn, you're now prone.
of pushing past him. The creature makes an attack of opportunity on you. But that's only an 11 versus armor class.
Nope.
But you were here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you're essentially 30 feet from this space. Fenrir. Are you and Lune averting your eyes or no?
Man, literally a 1 is the only way I could fail a charisma saving throw.
I am not.
You are not averting your eyes?
No.
Guess what
Okay. Make a charisma saving throw.
Statistically, 5%. Yeah.
It's a 23.
23. So you look up at this large creature in front of you, and you can feel and you can understand kind of what it is that whatever is happening, it's drawing your gaze towards the two small eyes. You can see, kind of blinking and taking a step back, you can see that that's not actually its eyes. It has two eyes that are underneath it. The small beads is what's drawing your attention to it, and whatever that is affecting your mind. That doesn't change anything. You just now kind of taking a step back and seeing it a little bit better. You know what's going on with it now. So your mind is your own. What is Lune doing?
Do I have to roll a throw for her?
Is she averting her eyes or no?
Charisma saving throw or be frightened by Fenrir.
Yes.
He looks at it and it runs away from him.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you doing?
He has reflection, which anything.
I cannot mount her.
They have to do.
There's not really enough space in here for that.
So is that Imperial Pumpkin?
Alright, I will.
This is coffee pressed. Yeah.
I'll just go up into attack melee.
Okay.
Try it
Go ahead and make your 2 attacks.
though. We have a case. Nice. How is it?
19.
19, that's a hit.
A $90 case.
Big $25 cheaper.
What? Oh, you can this one?
Still like 75.
That's 11.
Okay, that's your first hit. Go ahead and make your second.
And that is a 14.
14. Your second hit goes in and scrapes across the natural kind of carapace that it has. Doesn't manage to find any purchase.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything with your bonus action? And Lune can still move up and attack, but she attacks at disadvantage because she can't see the creature.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead and have her attack.
Okay.
Attack at disadvantage.
She's gonna run up here, around to the side. Yep, go ahead and make your attacks with disadvantage with it.
It is a 21.
21, that's a hit.
Okay. D6, please. It is. Yeah. 10 points of damage.
10.
And does that have to make.
It saved on its strength saving throw.
It did.
Yeah. You go ahead and make your second attack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. She doesn't get to attack.
Oh, she doesn't have 2 attacks. That's right. Sorry. So yeah, she runs up and her teeth kind of enhanced with the the metallic armor that she has. She kind of sinks in, kind of at the elbow, a weak point in its carapace. As she bites into it and pulls back, the creature manages to pull its arm out of it, out of her jaws before she's able to pull it to the ground. Okay, that's your turn. Zarn, are you averting your eyes, or what are you doing?
Can I maybe cast Distant Whispers on without looking directly at it?
Does the spell say that you have to see it?
The card says creature of my choice in range. I have to look at the book to see if it says specifically see.
Unless the card says otherwise, it has what's written for the spell, I believe.
Okay.
So then no, it doesn't need to. So it can just make a wisdom saving throw. That's a 19.
19?
Yeah.
Yeah, he succeeds.
You're one creature of your choice up in range you can hear.
He takes 4 damage.
4 damage?
And I will. Shit. That's my turn actually.
Okay. So yeah, you release the spell, and the creature doesn't seem to pay too much heed to the sound. You can see it kind of recoils a little bit, but it doesn't seem to have taken any effect. Lily, what are you doing?
I'm gonna attempt to not avert my eyes.
Make a charisma saving throw.
God damn it. Oh my god.
Charisma?
Yep.
I'm gonna use luck on this just to be sure.
Yeah, are you?
Using a lot of luck real quick.
You gonna stare at
This is your second point.
I got 14.
What did that say?
Lily,
12.
you're right next to me. Plus 3.
Oh, then 17.
17, that's enough.
Oh my god.
You look up and you can see the same thing that Fenrir had said before. You look up and you see the 2 small beads until you look up and you see these large, kind of greenish yellow eyes, very small beady pupils, just looking down at you hungrily. You can see saliva kind of drooling down. There's the large mandibles that kind of reach out. You can see smaller ones with a small mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth. As it looks at you hungrily.
I'm gonna attempt to cast polymorph on it.
Okay. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
That's a 10. What are you polymorphing it
Fails.
into?
A snail.
Purge the snail.
You're copying critical rules.
Wait, I am?
That's literally the exact same thing. So you cast polymorph on the creature.
Who did that?
You did.
I don't remember that one.
You're everyone's favorite person in the show.
I am fucking honored that we have the same
that was sarcasm.
Aw.
That's Keela.
Aw,
It was one of the
man.
first episodes.
You turn and you cast polymorph, and you see this large hulking creature, and suddenly it shrinks down this little tiny snail as it just slowly, ever so slowly, continues to crawl towards you.
Now I'm gonna go find a cavern to go jump down. Just because.
You do anything else?
A mine shaft.
I'm gonna.
Shift into a goldfish?
I'm just gonna pick it up and just hold it in my hand now.
You pick it up and you can feel it.
It's like small enough though that I can like grab it.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, you pick it up and you can just feel it just angrily sucking at your hands.
I took care of one of them.
Wow.
Sindal, what are you doing?
It's gone?
It's
in his hand.
you see Lily holding
It's,
this tiny snail.
It's out of combat right now.
Where the creature's before.
Don't look them in the eyes! They'll take over your mind!
Then you look over and you see Lily just bending over and picking up the small snail, saying, "I got one."
Can I tell if the spell is still holding on the other one?
You are still maintaining concentration.
Okay. I don't know when the next one will come up out of this cavern. I suppose we should be prepared. Something of the sorts. I'm going to. I don't know. I'm gonna
Attack the one that he polymorphed, and then it'll turn back into an Umbra Ball while it's in his hand.
You dick.
You don't know that.
definitely not doing that.
Also,
you
you
really
really
dumb
dumb.
you
You
can't
can't talk right now because you know.
I'm not dumb.
I thought you were like all like zonked out right now.
I'm scared.
I'm going
And
to
confused.
step
Dazed and confused.
towards the
Plus, I didn't say that in character.
to the table towards closest to you, There's no
Sorted
holes,
through.
giant gaping holes where another Umber Hulk might have burrowed or
You're
come
act-
through it.
No, it looks like that there's just this one that was. There's just this one that was here before, as well as the hole that it burst. The other one freshly burst through
I'm
over
gonna
here.
step back towards that,
From the drug effects of that dust.
maintaining concentration on fear,
I'm so confused
and I'm
about
going
my
to
fingers.
prepare a. I don't know. I'm just going to draw my wand of magic missiles, and if that other Umber Hulk comes through, I'm going to cast magic missiles at it.
Okay.
Second, 2 charges. Sure, why not?
Correct.
I'm gonna dash 80 feet down the tunnel towards the other Umber Hulk.
Towards the other overhaul. Okay.
'Cause you're still scared of me, right?
Yeah, it's great. 10 turns.
As you see Korak just look back over his shoulder at you, and you hear him just silently running off into the distance.
Isn't this the second time you've been feared by
That's
someone
what
in our
yep,
party?
in the entire fight.
I forgot it was
You-
a cone. Now I remember. Insendal.
You see, as you're just running down the tunnel ahead of you, as you're kind of bending around the corner, you can just see suddenly the other creature just hurriedly burrowing through the tunnel, trying to get away from you as you run into the back of him.
Can I start helping him?
You start trying to get behind him, but you essentially, the end of your movement puts you right into his butt.
Okay.
You get another save.
Yeah, I do get another save now that I'm out.
It's
on
a
the
tough
side.
DC, but you got to save.
My rolls have been so good at initiative. Ooh! What's the DC?
What's your save?
18.
18 beats it.
Nice!
You see, as you start coming down to it, you think, why was I afraid of Sindal? He's so small and weak. And then you see your prey standing directly in front of you, looking scared and digging into the tunnel behind you. I'm gonna check something.
I don't think I can do anything with a reaction.
Does that provoke
Or a bonus
opportunity
action.
attack since he's technically running away from a melee?
If he gets away from me, then it does.
Yeah. Well, he's turned. His back is turned.
He's attempting to get away
And he's-
from your vicinity.
On his turn, he's going to.
It might be too far away from you.
No, he said I'm right
Yeah,
behind
he's
him.
right on him.
Yeah, he essentially ran right into the creature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, alright, I'll do that.
Yeah, you can see as this creature is afraid, it is still just. You can just see it, and it's quickly burrowing through this rock. You can just see that it looks as if, like, the way that its hands are and the way that it uses its mandibles is kind of swinging its head back and forth to kind of cut through the stone, and its claws are just naturally kind of getting into that little groove and naturally just ripping out whole chunks really quickly. And as you come to the end of your dash, you can just see that it's just not paying any heed to you, just continuing to dash, burrowing through stone. You get an attack opportunity.
Reckless?
Yeah, you can make a reckless.
Oh, that's good. There you go. 25.
25. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool. And I'm gonna use my Orcish Fury to use an extra die.
Okay.
2d10. I'm very bad with d10. I never remember what they look like.
Are you going...
Two-handed?
Okay, so just so I know, because you don't have your shield on, you have to use an action to put a shield on.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your attack. Or go
I'm
roll your
not
damage.
raging because I was feared before I was able to rage.
Correct. Hold on. Yeah, it's when it starts its turn that it's able to see. Okay, so... I was double checking to make sure that you weren't, like, immediately confused by this creature.
Yeah. Okay, that's 15 points of damage.
15. Okay.
No, that's gone.
Enemy's turn. It doesn't... No, it doesn't make the saving throw. It's only if it takes damage. Albert. You are...
What, polymorph?
Yeah.
I don't think... Yeah, they don't make the
There's
saving
no.
throws.
There's no.
I don't know. No, I don't know. So don't take my word. I'm just reading it on my own.
Double check for me to make sure. Albert, as
It
you...
says it lasts the duration or until it drops to 0 hit points or dies.
So, as you look around and you are just standing in this small, dark tunnel, what were you doing? Why were you running down here? You can hear your allies behind you. You're behind this round again.
Drop your word! Don't look at them! Don't look!
Run back.
Okay. So that's 30 feet to here.
I feel like a cardio workout.
50.
On this,
Do you want to, how far do you want to move? You're 50 feet, so you have 10 more feet of movement from this space.
Besides Zarn is fine.
Okay. As you come rounding around the corner, you see Lily holding up this small snail as it just slowly is just crawling around its arm as it's just slowly crawling up towards her face.
Letting it do that. Imagine she's like,
Yeah. She just keeps like dropping it off on her hands, but it's just slowly just trying to crawl closer and closer towards her. Fenrir, you're up.
I mean, there's nothing around, is there?
You saw Korak running off down the tunnel, and you see the one that is sitting in front of Lily.
Well,
Okay.
What is
I'll
polymorph?
prepare an attack.
100 rounds.
Myself.
An hour.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
We have plenty of time to
yell
figure out what
to
to do with it.
Korak to come back.
Okay. Zoran, you doing anything?
No.
Lily?
I'm at bow ready in case the other one comes running back in.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything.
And I'll also say to Lily, can you do something with that?
squash it.
Like, do something?
Well, we could.
You want to squash
We
it,
could
then it'll
take it-
turn right back into an Umber Hulk.
Let's put it into the bag of holding.
Wait, isn't there a weight limit on those?
I think there is, but it's a snail right now.
Yes, but if
How long does it
An
until
hour.
it's dead? Oh, an hour. Okay.
But I don't think living.
Wait,
things
is
do
it?
very
You
well
said it's a
with
vacuum
holding.
in there, right? Well, we're gonna. So it'll die, and then one day we're gonna reach into the bag of holding and pull out the corpse of an Umber Hulk.
No, it's going
Because
to
it'll-
destroy everything in there.
I think we've already discussed that bags of holding explode when they go over weight limits.
I'm not doing anything.
I don't know.
I said that a little bit
Skull.
ago.
You're still maintaining your concentration.
concentration and Korak and the Umber Hulk haven't come up yet.
You can hear Korak snarling angrily, and you can just hear the sound. You can still feel this vibration kind of all around you guys.
Most awkward Umber Hulk fight.
Can I check to? Do I hear any other rumbles? Is this attracting any other creatures possibly?
Make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You hear
Totals of 25. Just
You hear Korak. You hear Lily and Fenrir discussing whether or not to put this snail in the bag's holding.
sure.
What else would you do?
I think it'd be really
You
cool.
hear this short, kind of high-pitched screech. It kind of echoes from down the tunnel in this direction.
From when? From where we came?
this direction.
Are we out of initiative?
No,
No.
this is just Sindal's turn.
Okay.
You kind of hear that at this point. You kind of hear that at the end of your turn.
I don't know what Korak's doing, but worry about that hallway. And then, can I prepare? I'm going to prepare just a first level catapult for the hallway.
I remember that spell.
We could always use the Umber Hulk as a weapon.
How far did it get away from me?
Chuck it down the
You
hallway.
got about 40 feet burrowing.
Oh my god. Damn. Can you catapult the snail?
I could technically, yeah.
That's awesome.
Then we'll smack into
It's under
whatever
5
it's-
pounds as a snail.
How? I'm 80 feet into a tunnel. Would I have heard?
Make a perception check.
They actually need to release the polymorph after you cast catapult, so it's flying forward and then turns back
Natural
normal.
1.
Natural 1. Your enemy is in front of you.
All right, I'm gonna use my movement to go towards it,
Okay, as you go towards it,
and I'm gonna.
as you're coming up onto the back of it, you don't feel that sensation.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go into a rage, and I'm gonna take 2 reckless attacks at this bitch.
Okay, go and make your attacks with advantage.
24.
That's
the
a hit.
First one. Literally any fucking die. Alright, whatever. And an 18 to hit.
18 just hits.
Nice. Okay. So I'll do them separately.
How large is the cabin that he's fighting in? I'm just trying, because like I have this vision in my head.
About that wide around.
Fuck.
It is essentially digging enough for it to fit through.
You don't get another roll. I need another D10. Another D10. I'm very bad at the D10s. I can never identify. It's an 8. Okay. So 9 and 16. 25.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. So that's 16. Oh. Okay, you. What weapon are you using?
The +2.
Oh, the +2 longsword. Yeah, you come running up with your sword, slashing through it twice. The first one kind of opens up a crack in the carapace, and you come back and you swing again. This time, opening it up, kind of rending open the back. You can see the fleshy interior kind of underneath the armor, as it is still just fleeing for its life, trying to burrow in through this rock ahead of you.
Is that sort of wounding?
No, he has a +2. It's going to continue to burrow away because it is still enhanced. It is still affected by fear. So go ahead and make an attack of opportunity.
Ooh, that's exciting. Reckless.
What's your DC?
16.
That's a miss. That's 15.
15. Okay, yeah. You miss with your sword. And you see as it kind of seeing that fleshy opening. You swing back and try to get into it, but it kind of arcs off against the carapace. It just still, just fleeing away from you, still just burrowing into this stone. Are any of the rest of you doing anything at this point?
We're all arguing about the snail at this point.
Kill this thing.
Well,
Albert? You doing anything?
if we kill the snail, does the Umber Hog die, or does it turn back?
You
into-
have
Turns
to.
back
I don't
into
understand how.
You have to damage it enough to drop the Umber Hulk
can
to
I say-
0.
Can I say
Lily,
that?
how
Wait,
is this
really?
smell
Just,
black?
Yes.
I don't want to speak out.
If you.
Wait, is that right?
If I'm not actually
Yeah.
supposed to say.
If we did like.
No, that's no. You can leave it. That's fine. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Throw it down the hallway.
What do you know?
Give it to Sendal and he'll launch it into the darkness.
What do you three know? I feel like
What?
This was just regular polymorph, right?
Yes.
True polymorph 9th level.
I said to worry about the big hallway. That's what I said.
Hmm?
I said to worry about the big hallway.
Yeah, so we should probably check that out.
I'm like actually protecting it at this point. Like we need to figure out how to get rid of it in one foul swoop, or it'll come back and we'll have to fight it again.
Give it to Sindal and let him catapult it if something comes after us.
That is a fantastic idea.
Okay, well we'll do that. So
Sindal,
stop
are you-
pressuring me, Albert.
By the name of the Lord.
Alright, so
You hear his voice echo out through the tunnels.
Oh god.
Great.
I don't have thematurgy.
In the name of the Lord.
You still yelled that, and this is a very small echoing tunnel.
Fucking great.
Fenrir?
I'm just waiting.
You guys
for
are just kind of preparing actions in
Yeah.
case something comes down the tunnel.
Yeah. There's nothing really else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like, I'll step up and listen, like look down the tunnel and see if anything's coming.
Make a perception check.
I'll do that.
How far down the tunnel can you see? Or is it all dark?
He doesn't have a source of light.
13.
13. Kind of looking down the tunnel. The light is kind of messing with your dark vision a little bit, but you look down the tunnel and you don't see anything.
Just prepared action to fire if anything I see anything.
Pull back your bow.
Could cast
Sindal?
light on the snail and watch the snail.
Did we get Lily?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we went the whole way around. No one was doing anything.
Did Lily give me this? Did you
Lily,
give me
were
the
you-
snail,
were-
or did
were
you
doing
not?
anything? You're holding onto the snail. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna stand near Sindal in case we need it to catapult it if something comes.
All right. Korak is still down the tunnel, chasing another Umber Hulk that is not a snail. And I belt that loud enough, I think that he might be able to hear it too. Oh yeah.
Alright, on your turn, go ahead and make a perception check.
It's 4.
You hear the sound of as stone is being ripped away.
40 feet away?
Yep.
Let's do it!
We are
two
the
reckless
best
attacks.
team ever.
We're getting some good synergy on this snail.
That's a miss, that's an 8.
This is solid synergy on the
No, that's a 10, but it's still
That's
a
still
miss.
a miss.
That's what we need to do. We're gonna cast
3
light
rounds
on.
into fear.
That's an 18.
That's a hit.
That's insane, yeah.
I need to find a real
Well,
D10.
for the
There's
first
one.
from the
I've
base,
been rolling the D
second,
hundreds.
not third.
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
So fear doesn't fall off if you take physical damage.
No.
That's another 1!
It's concentration. They have to break it once they lose life.
you.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Sorry.
9 points of damage.
I'm gonna double check it just to make sure, but I know I read that
I
right.
feel
Turned into,
so,
like, a
like,
slapstick
disengaged
action
from this
sequence.
whole encounter.
I mean, you guys kind of made a joke out of it, so I don't mean that being like, oh, but like you guys like you guys
so
are
excited
really
on the snail.
We're gonna cast light on
This
the
is
snail.
not
We're
a
gonna
typical
launch the
Fenrir
snail.
battle where I just get to smash everything. I'm
This is-
really. I mean, you could swap
This
the
turned
snail out
into
of
a
his hand and then
magic
attack it.
users, but like in a weird way, because we accidentally.
Look, there's
what do
like
you
an
call it?
intense
What's the
action
term?
sequence going on down the tunnel with you, and we're all standing there. Just
All right,
I'm in a chase scene.
it makes his wisdom saving throw. Is it?
Wait a minute.
Let's go.
You just see you
One on one, and I'm wrong. Let's fucking
You
go.
see it as it just turns and just looks towards you. Its form filling up the whole form of the tunnel as it is now. It was 60, 100. It is now
That
140
music
feet from
playing.
this room. Up there.
Oh,
Let me know.
oh, at the end of its turn.
It's
it
at the
makes
end of
it
its
save.
turn. It makes
That's
its saving
right.
throw.
That's exciting.
Things seem to be fine over here.
I still see. Did you hear me yell what I yelled?
I'll run down the hallway towards where, following my friend.
Do I have
I
to
will
remind?
check
Do
on
I have
it.
to remind you what I said in character?
I'll shout
Do I
to
have
these
to do
guys.
that?
I'm going to check on, to make sure he's not dying.
You feel
Oh,
as
you
your
jerk.
concentration is broken.
That
Well, I
that
can't
little
say anything.
That
herb.
green thing.
Hanging out? Are you taking his?
How far away is Korak?
100. Well, you
You
don't know.
have no idea. He ran off into the darkness, and you can just hear him yelling
Checking on
as
the
it
green
echoes down the tunnel in your direction.
This is so fucked.
Oh man.
This is wonderful.
Yeah, this is great. This is great.
God.
We got so excited about a snail, we just let him run off after a monster.
To be clear,
I mean,
I'm
you
just
just stood
gonna
there
kinda-
too.
I'm just
Forced
gonna
me to
go
run off
as far
as
as I
far
can
as I
towards them.
10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15.
And Lune will follow.
How far down the tunnel did he die?
What is Lune's movement speed?
50.
You technically don't know.
No, it's like
Make an acrobatics check.
this
for
thing.
her.
It's
For her?
digging.
Yeah, this is kind of a
It's digging
tight
fast.
Is that
fit.
strength?
It's dexterity.
It's only 7.
Okay, so as she comes running up to you, up to the tunnel, she gets up and she's running into the back of Aubert. There's not really enough room for her to maneuver around both of you to get further down the tunnel.
So she's just right with us.
Yeah, she's right with the two of you. And you guys are a ways off. Sorry? You just still watching down the tunnel?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye down the tunnel. Oh, it's this tunnel though, is the one that we heard stuff coming from.
Yeah, you're over here.
So.
Lily, you hanging out, holding the snail at ready,
Yeah,
occasionally pushing it back down your arm.
I like constantly just.
Yeah.
Remember to cast light on it first.
I'll move by Zarn too. Get a vantage point down the tunnel.
I just
Make
love
some
this
sense.
idea.
I was gonna
Just
say, is it like dark or can I actually see with my?
Now with where the light sources are going now, you can't really see much even in this room that you're standing in.
All right.
Because it is more or less coming close to pitch black in this room.
Oh, you're the only one who doesn't have dark vision.
No.
Oh, Lily doesn't have dark vision?
No.
No. Halflings.
I have it.
Yeah.
I have it as a spell.
Now you know
How
how Shannara felt in the last campaign.
I'm going to step up behind Lily.
Uh oh.
And I'm going to attempt to listen still for the screeching noise that I had heard before.
Make a perception check.
So you start fighting over this.
That's fine. 13.
You don't hear anything. Nothing. Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, we're gonna make this a little bit better because we're gonna switch out that piece.
So
For this one, as you guys are ways off down the top.
Down on the camera.
I have two
Yeah.
questions that you don't have to answer because they, my character.
At the start of your turn, make a charisma saving throw.
Even
Unless
though
you
it's
want
pitch
to
dark?
avert your eyes.
Okay.
You can either avert your eyes or make a charisma saving throw.
I don't think I'd avert my eyes.
Okay, make a charisma saving throw.
No, that's right. It's dark. This would be good for Lily if she was just in pitch black. She
think
like
he
can't
would.
see anything.
Korak, man.
Apparently doesn't
Don't
matter.
ask me.
I don't think he would, especially while raging.
I mean,
Well,
I
it
guess
mattered
maybe he
before
has
because
dark
we all
vision.
had they
Good
all
call.
had lights on, so you were able to see it.
They shot Mr. Gilmore.
7.
Price is wrong.
Please run the other direction. Oh, I really wanted him to start
You
running
just
back.
you just stare at it confused.
How terrified
As-
would you be if
in
I
your
came
mind-
sprinting out of that hole?
In your mind, you were thinking, "This is my prey. This is my enemy," and now you're not sure exactly what it is. What is its meaning to you? And you start to become lost on a trail of thought you've never had before.
Why are we here? Korak cried.
I mean,
As
aren't we all the same
That's all we do.
inside?
it
Just blood and guts.
makes 3 attacks against you, 2 with its claws, 1 with its mandibles.
impulses in the brain.
That's a mandibles is a 25.
Oh yeah.
Claw is a math 21
Yep.
and a 16.
Miss.
Okay.
Just missed.
So mandible, you take 16 points of damage halved.
Okay.
Actually,
Where's my winner race? Oh, I guess I don't need winner race actually.
it's not halved because your raise dropped
What?
because you didn't attack.
But no, but I'm taking damage. Oh, since my last turn. No, I did. I attacked
You
on.
ended your turn,
Yeah,
without attacking.
You motherfucker.
so you take 16 points of damage.
Retaliation doesn't count? Or I mean,
I missed.
It's if on Korak's turn, if he ends his turn without attacking.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Not retaliation, but
Wait, no, I hit him this
the,
turn.
the
No, I
reaction.
didn't.
The reaction.
How could I have?
The
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you were just lost in
Let me.
thought.
No, you're right. No, you're right.
Well, because there is something else to it that I might not be remembering correctly.
oh, I was thinking of the attack of opportunity.
It ends early
Yeah, I missed
if
that.
you haven't attacked a hostile creature.
That's the key here. If I would have hit that.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because
Ends
that constitutes the
or-
whole round.
If your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage. No, because you attacked last turn.
Right.
So,
And I attacked on its turn, but I didn't do damage. I think I have to hit.
no, you don't. You just have to attack. So you're
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so 16 halves, so 8 points of damage.
Thought I had to hit. But okay.
And then with the claw, you take 9 points of damage halved to 4.
Okay. Wait. Okay.
Everything in this encounter has been so fucking crazy.
Oh, where?
This has been pretty wild.
Just you wait.
Man.
Fair, Fenrir, I assume the two of you are still sprinting fully down the tunnel towards him.
Yeah, I mean, just in case.
How far?
You move another 30 feet. You're still not in line of sight yet.
Alright. Well, dash.
Okay. You move another 60 feet down the tunnel.
Yeah, we did.
I had no trouble.
You can hear the sound of this creature kind of letting out this weird kind of like low-pitched hissing sound as it is as you are coming along, and you can kind of start to see the glint of your light off of his sword. Fenrir, you and Lune are sprinting down the tunnel as well, dashing the whole way.
Actually, I'm allowed one item interaction. Or
What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna put. I'm actually gonna put my hammer of light away, and I'm gonna pull out my gem of brightness.
Okay, yeah, you're allowed to pull out the gem of brightness.
I'll do
Yeah. Sarn, Lily, make perception checks,
That sounds like that'd be useful for me.
and Sindolith, unless you're doing something else.
I'm
I kind of assumed
I'm
the
going
three
to
of you were.
speak.
Oh, okay.
I will see.
I guess that.
23. 24.
Don't hear anything.
Oh yeah, my fucking eagle eyes won't really help me hear shit better.
I don't hear the other creature that was coming down this hallway anymore. I heard it before, and I can't hear it now. I'm going to step forward and continue to listen, but I think I don't know what the rest of them are up to.
Maybe we should go down the tunnel and meet up with everybody else.
That's a fast snail.
You start to go down
He's
the tunnel,
determined.
listening. You don't hear anything.
Nothing.
Stop it, Gary.
Korak, you averting your eyes? Make charisma saving throw.
19.
Damn.
Looking up at it, you see, trying to drawing your eyes away from it, you see the, well, I guess you can't really see color, but you see the kind of larger eyes underneath the small black beads. As you get a full look at this creature from the front now, for really the first time that you kind of remember it. The other times you don't remember as well, but there it is in front of you.
Can I try to cut off the little beads?
No.
Okay. 2 attacks, very close.
Because it's not like the beads are like out. They're like
Oh.
embedded into its head.
Okay.
Oh, it's not this time.
No.
Either way, if you would have said no, I would have been like, okay. Especially since I'm
Make your attacks.
practically blind. 17? That's a miss.
17 misses. Okay. No,
17 missed.
Yeah, it's an 18.
you attacked recklessly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On its turn, it makes 3 attacks against you with advantage. First claw is a 20.
Yep.
5 points of damage after that having, so 10 and a half to 5. Second claw, 24.
Yep.
6 points after the having.
Okay.
With the mandible, that's a 24.
Yep.
Math. 18 half to 5. Or not 5,
Alright.
9. Wow. Yeah. That's its turn. A bear. At this point, you take another couple steps forward, and you can see now Korak looks hurt. Not a lot, but it looks hurt. And you can just see that the Umber Hulk is just as...
Am I within 60 feet of him?
Yeah, you're within 60 feet. You see as it
Alright.
sinks in 2 claws, and then you see the mandibles kind of sink down into the shoulder, and you hear Korak give out a cry of pain.
I'm going to expend 1 charge for my Gem of Brightness to fire a beam of light at the Umber Hulk.
Okay, what does it have to do?
DC 16. Upon failure, he is blinded for 1 minute.
Wisdom saving throw?
Constitution.
16? That's 15. That's a 12. So you can see, I'm just going to kind of move these back a little bit, be a little bit closer. You can see Korak.
Oh, it's an old item that I haven't been.
You can see as Fenrir, you see his up air stepping forward, having put away his hammer with a shield out. He pulls out this gem that's kind of giving off this natural light, and as he points it towards the creature, put him in the camera.
View.
Oh, well then, they're back a little bit further. You can see as you, as he kind of holds out this gem, this sudden beam of light goes forward, kind of into the right over Korak's shoulder, where the creature's sunk into it. You can see as it does, it kind of blasts it right in the face, and Korak, you feel the mandibles and the teeth release as the creature steps back, and you can just see that it's just kind of flailing a little bit.
guess I'll just use the rest of my movement to get as close to them as I can.
You're actually about this far away at your movement. Fenrir, are you still just charging forward?
How far away are we?
From the start of your turn, they're about 50 feet away from you. So you could move and potentially throw a javelin. Or you could full move up, like dash, and be melee with it for next round.
I mean, haven't I had prepared attacks ready, or does that not count?
You are essentially using your movement and action, running down this tunnel underground.
But they're only 50 feet. I can see them.
Yeah, you can see them from the light being given off by his by the gemstone he's holding. Make sure to mark off that one charge, by the way.
Yeah, we'll just run all the way up.
Okay, so you're gonna run all the way up to be in melee with it.
Oh shit! What's up, buddy?
Zarn, Lily, Doll. Nothing's really happening out here.
Do we want to stay here or do we want to follow them down the tunnel?
I think we should probably go in the elevator.
Yes, let's follow them down the tunnel.
Okay, so it'll be 3 rounds before you guys get there.
Right.
Fuck. Korak. Charisma saving throw.
Not much is going on, right?
Charisma saving throw with +3 because Fenrir is
Hey!
having
That's
his aura of protection.
11. Damn it!
Your mind wanders once again.
Someone's gonna steal my kill now.
As
One guess who
you
it'll be.
you kind of drop, you're still kind of in a defensive position. You're just looking at the creature curiously. With new prey having come into its range, it's going to make a mandible and a claw against Fenrir and 1 claw against you. First claw against Fenrir is a 24 versus armor class against you.
Does blinding do anything to him?
Oh, he has a disadvantage. Still 24.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Alright.
Okay. You take, that was the limpest roll I've ever made. 10 points of damage reduced by 3, so 7. It makes his mandible with disadvantage. That's how did that happen? Second one, it kind of lunges in towards you and you duck out of the way. Actually, I lied. Just blindness doesn't actually affect him. I forgot about one of his senses, but I already called that miss, so that's fine. It has tremor sense. It can feel the vibrations around it, so it makes its third attack against Korak unaffected.
Not with advantage.
Not yeah, it's just
Okay,
normal.
I just want to make sure.
That's a 20 versus armor class.
Yep, that hits.
With this Avenger.
That is 11 half to 5.
Yeah.
It attacked me last turn.
Yeah, your rage is still running.
No.
A bear. Sure.
I will run up behind. Yeah, and I'll cure wounds him.
Okay.
Cure wounds my green bean.
What level are you casting it at?
I like it when you call me that.
It'll be a level 1 for now.
Okay.
Oh, that's create or destroy water.
Same thing.
Make it rain on him.
Let me wash those wounds out, boy.
Jesus. Let's see. Alright, that should be 13.
No shit.
Do anything with your bonus action? You can cast first level spells as bonus action. Or you can cast the first level bonus action spell as a bonus action.
No, I got anything else.
Fenrir. You are in melee with this creature.
I switch out the gem and I pull out
So,
my hammer again.
I mean,
Are
I
you?
only took 7 points of damage from it?
Yeah, you took 7 points of damage from the other one missed. Are you averting your eyes or no?
No, I'm not.
Make a charisma saving throw.
26.
Yeah, you resist it. Go to make your 2 attacks.
24.
It's a hit.
That is 14 first.
Okay.
And 28.
It's a hit.
Does that count?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So if you rolled it with purpose, that is the number you get.
Just roll with purpose.
That is 9 points of damage.
The axe cutting through twice. The first one kind of slicing in through the top carapace. The second one coming down through the shoulder, cracking the armor, releasing or revealing the flesh underneath. Do anything else with your bonus action?
No.
With the confines of the tunnel, because Lune doesn't have reach with you two, because you two are kind of taking up the whole space of the tunnel. She can't get into melee with.
Can't she make an acrobatics check again?
There's nowhere else to go behind the creature or to go around. The tunnel is essentially only as wide as you two being in the tunnel with the other creature there.
Okay.
So she's waiting for an opportunity that if one of you two goes down, she'll go in for a stat, but she's kind of stuck behind the two of you.
Cool.
Zara, Lily, Sindal, the two of you are sprinting, or the three of you are sprinting.
Dancing lights. Yeah, nice swirling.
Dashing through the tunnel.
Korak.
Oh yeah, we're
You're
trying again. I mean, he hit me, right? So I'm still raging?
You're still raging.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that was a 20. It's a 10. Wait, 13 though. Since he's there.
Okay. You and just run into the side of the tunnel here next to Fenrir. You didn't beat the saving throw.
But
So-
I'm running away.
You run in a random direction, according to the effect that did it. And yes, for the random direction was you run out of melee, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Just what I wanted to do.
That's
raging.
a
Oh, you need to get attacked.
24.
Yep, that is.
That is 12 half to 6.
Oh.
And yeah. At the end of your turn, it sees the tender, juicy dwarf in front of it, makes 3 attacks. Okay. First claw is only a 12. Second claw is a 21. Fenrir.
Sorry. Yeah, that's it.
And then the other one is a 20 versus armor class.
God, yeah.
Okay, so the mandible does 19 points of damage, reduced by 3, so 16 points of damage. And the claw does 10 minus 7. So, or not minus 7, 10 minus 3, so 7 and 15?
You said
Sorry, it was 19, so 16 and 7, so 183 points of damage.
20, 30, 30.
Albert.
Oh, now that there's a clearing in front of them, burning hands.
Okay, what level?
I'll boost it to 2.
Okay. Believe it or not, they're not great at dexterity. It failed, so go ahead and roll damage.
There's just so much room for him to maneuver. 5, 10, ooh, 16, and just one more.
16 points of damage.
No,
Oh.
it's 20.
20?
Yeah, the level.
Yeah, I said I said it's.
Okay, no, I was
level
just double
2.
checking that's what you said. 20?
Yes, 20 points
Okay,
of fire.
how do we do this?
Oh well, it's roasted, man.
Okay.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So
Focus
you,
down the tunnel.
seeing these 3 hits come in on Fenrir, the mandibles kind of sinking in, managing to kind of find purchase underneath the shoulder. The mandible kind of tearing into his neck a little bit. He pushes the creature back. You take that opportunity to step up into the space where it was, seeing the cut open that Fenrir had made across the carapace. You just put your hands right up against its chest plate, and the flames roll in through the gap in the armor, and you just see fire begin to roll up through the spaces in the armor, this stench of burning flesh filling this tunnel as you see it kind of step back and recoil away, but far too late as you just see it slide down to the ground as you just see smoke rising from it.
We see the light off in the tunnel.
You guys see that light coming around the tunnel as the 3 of you come running down, seeing this, and you turn and see Lily
You guys want
fixing a
some?
snail.
You guys want some bug meat?
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. I hope you guys enjoy what you see so far. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're just going to go to the restroom real quick.
Welcome back.
Let's go, hey. Not really there.
favorite one of the night.
And we're back.
I don't know if anyone else got it.
So,
Picture Manny's.
Sindal, Lily, and Zarn, the three of you come sprinting down the hallway as the smell of burning flesh fills your nostrils as you come and see Fenrir, Aber, Korak, and Lune all crammed in towards the end of this tunnel where you can just see black smoke filling up through the in this tunnel, and that you hear the crackling sound of burning flesh.
Oh, you guys got him. What do we do about this one now?
Toss him into the fire.
Lily, there's a snail on your arms.
Make a strength check.
Wait, you actually doing it?
No, we're gonna catapult it.
I don't know anything about that
Make a strength
snail.
check.
She does.
We're always like, no!
Oh, wait, I'm raging.
No, because
No,
you
you're
still
not.
had to
It's
split
been
the
a
rest of
while.
the way down. Your rage would have ran out. What is it?
7.
Oh, that's a
I
low.
bet you a snail's lower AC than that, honestly.
I thought it was an opposing strength check.
I mean, it could be.
What? I didn't know what it would be. I mean,
Hold
you
on.
said strength check,
I
right?
want to see how he handles this.
Wait.
Lily! Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah,
You
that
know
makes
what?
sense.
I think I'm going to use my ring of evasion instead.
So automatically succeed.
So automatically succeed.
He's
Okay.
using like all of his important stuff on stupid shit.
That's probably a good move.
As you go to swing at, as you see Korak come running up, you go, uh-oh. And you just quickly just tuck your hand behind as you feel the snail starting to crawl onto your back. You reach back with your other hand and
Oh, we're waiting to deal with the snail.
Deal with a snail.
It's the Umber Hulk. He's
It's
trying to do a
actually
snail.
the other Umber Hulk.
Well,
I mean, as awesome as catapulting it at something would be,
Doesn't seem necessary.
it could
does
cause a lot of problems in the future. We might want to just turn it back and all murder it at once.
Well, should we?
Well, if we attack it with a strong enough attack, we can potentially one-shot kill it.
Fenrir.
Might we get it out into a more open place rather than this very cramped corner of a hole that is definitely a dead end, right?
oh yeah, no, you're
He
you're
was
already
digging- he was
dead.
freshly digging.
Yeah,
definitely.
forging this tunnel.
Yeah, we can do that.
That would seem wise. Yes.
So you guys all kind of come back out into this central area where you guys were originally.
What was that?
I cast light on the snail.
You see,
I guess the right
you see its shell ting, give off this glowing light. Is it just still just crawling up Lily?
Was that really necessary?
Is any of this?
Probably not.
Good.
You're right, so let's just go home.
Yeah. This is all stupid.
Yes, certainly I'm at an existential crisis now. No, my father is about to be killed, and we need to slay whatever the rest is down here. If there's more Umber Hulks, or if there's more creatures lurking. I heard something else that I don't know if it was another Umber Hulk.
So how does this magic work? How can we best kill this thing?
Catapult it into a
Well, we
wall.
don't have a gigantic hole to plummet it towards. If we were at the top of the elevator, maybe, but we would have to go all the way back up and then just lower it all the way back down and then drop it on top of the elevator that we would need to use to exit the premises.
Could we?
I would suggest
I have
we
an
need to just
idea.
Hey, guys! Could we just like drown it in a bucket of water?
Oh wait, no, I have an idea.
No, once it starts to take damage, it would pop right back out and destroy
Yeah,
the
as
entire
soon as
bucket of
it-
water. Our
Is that
best
what
course of
drowning
action is to all prepare ourselves and dismantle it in a very quick fashion.
What if we go back outside? I transform into an eagle. I fly up really high, and then I drop it.
How long will the spell last?
Wait,
and will we
is that the way that's
That's the way me and Adros almost
is that the way
died.
that suffocate that if it suffocates, will the snail die and turn back into an Umber Hulk that's dead?
I don't know how drowning works.
Conscious?
I know how falling works.
Should I cast divination? To
And it
do
would
this?
just turn back into a Super Hulk and then take the damage.
Because you could put it in your wine thing
I'm,
and drown it in wine.
What if it expands and breaks your alchemy?
that's such a
check?
good idea. Oh yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that would be
wait.
tragic.
And even if it does So even if it does survive the drowning, it'll be completely intoxicated. It'll barely be able to move.
I believe the quickest
but I don't
course.
want to break my alchemy.
No. Just pour it into a cup.
Oh yeah, let's do that. And then we'll just all have prepared attacks.
Size experiment.
Can we please set the snail down in the center of the room?
As it's
All
glowing.
prepare to dismantle it with all of our might.
Yes. Why don't
Well,
we
magically
do
we
that?
might sustain ourselves slightly.
Why don't we do that? But rather than just setting it in the middle of a room,
We set it in a cup
set it in the
with
bottom
wine
of
in
a
it.
cup. Although,
What difference would it make?
Because if it ends up dying, then we don't have to actually fight it.
Lily, can this type of snail breathe underwater?
There's no difference. Once you damage this
You damage
creature, it
the
turns
snail.
out of its
Water, it's wine and water, it's a different thing.
Once it takes damage, if it's drowning, it's going to.
Fenrir, if you don't kill this thing soon, I'm going to. Lune just whispers into your head.
listen. Here's my point. I don't know if
Or if we want to have some fun with it,
Make a
you
couple
know what?
nails.
Let's have some fun. And I take a something that I
Ale.
can find some water. No, not
What you
that.
hear as the jug fills up with ale.
And then
No.
Now, we're not putting it in that. Trust me, I'm not losing my jug over this.
we need just a container of some sort.
Yes, certainly. No, everybody prepare an action to destroy the
Right!
creature.
Exactly! Yes!
You're the one that's freaking out about this. We had this figured out forever ago.
Lune
We
slowly
need to
paces
do
over
this
towards Lune.
carefully!
She
I don't know, everyone else was telling. What are we doing?
Lily, make a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Who, me?
Yep.
17.
17. You see Lune walking directly towards you.
Get away.
Wait. Tell her to wait just a second before we prepare it.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna automatically wait. I can do that after I find out if I fail, right?
Oh
Let's
my
see.
god, are you really?
I can do it after I fail. I
He's
should
gonna
have
use all the
approached that
charges.
later.
Yeah, how... Ah!
Reroll.
Wait,
What?
really? Wait, no, you mean you just
Natural 1. I get to
Yeah.
reroll natural 1.
Even on that-
He rolled it with purpose.
Dexterity. Unnatural 20.
Yeah, you see Lune snap towards you as you pull it back. And she just growls and still is moving, pressing in
Is
towards
the
you.
cup ready to the bowl? What are you doing?
I probably should have.
Fenrir,
I'll
I
pour
grow
some in
tired
there.
of waiting.
I
I'm
probably
right
should
here
roll
with
the
you,
check.
man. So everybody, you better figure out what the fuck we're doing. or
We already
just
have a
let it
plan!
go.
Just launch
do
it
it.
down the hallway.
Then do it.
Is there a
Tired.
container of some sort that we could use to?
Is the container
Someone has a cup.
filled with
Lune,
water?
do not hurt Lily. But
It is-
that's all I'm gonna say.
I
Is the
can't make
contain-
any promises.
Is the container filled
Cannot
with...
hurt Lily.
Do we have a container filled with water right now? In the middle of the floor?
One of you pulls out a cup.
I have ale. Let's put the ale in it. We'll put the snail in the
Ale. Yeah, sure.
It's the old ale snail. Let's do it.
And you all spreading out.
And we're preparing actions to
Fuck
attack.
me. Christ almighty.
Can we use the brain in the jar as the piece for this?
No.
That's a good idea, though.
We're literally...
As you all stand around, there's a small cup that you put here, and you boom, drop the snail in. A moment passes.
It's gonna breathe underwater, and we're gonna wait for an hour.
You start to see it just kind of crawl out over the edge of the cup.
I poke it back in.
You plug it back in.
I hold it under the.
Wait a minute!
Do
I go into my pouch.
Do snails breathe underwater?
Some do.
under-
Some
I
definitely
will.
can. They might all be able to.
For brevity's sake, you put something on top of it.
There we go.
A minute passes. You see as the chalice erupts, as the Umber Hall comes crashing down onto the ground, looking up
Oh my god.
at the three of you.
Is it intoxicated?
I think it's snail. I think it's snail form was. This one's not.
We're gonna go ahead and just
End the session there.
you guys. No, we're not gonna end there. What action did you and you have prepared?
I only had prepared a cantrip.
Cantrip. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was gonna be a Sacred Flame.
Bow shots.
Okay, 2 bow shots, Sacred Flame. That the three of you with your prepared actions make charisma saving throws.
Oh, it's facing me.
It is.
I thought it was.
All three of you
Oh,
have a
wait.
direct line of sight.
I
on
thought
the
it was
top.
facing them. That was where I made my mistake.
This one's.
It's cocked. It
No,
looked like a
oh,
20,
it's
but
gonna
it
be
was
on a
cocked.
22.
Oh,
20 something.
Hit.
20.
Hit.
21 and 21.
2 hits. You need to re-roll your damage.
Oh wait,
What
what
about
about
Lune?
Where am I?
I would have said that she probably would have been here, so she gets her attack as well.
Okay.
So she doesn't need to make one. Essentially, you three are on where its face comes out.
Straight for
You can.
Um,
It happens. So
20
should I roll for an
weeks.
attack?
Yeah, she can make her attack.
Lily could have panicked.
20 damage all day.
It's the advantage of
How many
playing.
damage? Oh,
25.
The advantage
Hit.
of playing a
Damage.
12-year-old child is if you fuck up, you're just like, they're 12.
Yeah, but anyone could panic. 18 for her attack.
Just hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ten points of damage.
10.
I wasn't sure if drowning did damage or if it just killed stuff.
15.
You know what I mean?
Divine energy.
They start to take damage.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I figured that was the case, but-
Charisma saving throw.
5.
Fail.
15.
Succeed.
24.
Succeed.
Let me cast Poly.
I hate to be redundant, but did you roll a lot of hit saving throw?
Yes, you succeeded.
Yeah, I'm gonna transform
Also, in
it
terms of
into,
you wanting it to be drunk,
black.
the amount of alcohol that would have gone into it is so minuscule compared to the size of the creature that's coming out, it means nothing.
I figured that the snail would like be drunk.
That's what I
just to
thought.
see it, just to maintain as it comes out.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
Korak.
Listen, we've learned a lot.
Not to mention,
Korak.
if we really wanted to get it drunk, we have an
D4?
we have a bottomless jug of alcohol.
Hey,
We just continue.
Make a tackle.
Ooh.
Is there a way we could combine
God.
his alcohol
Recklessly?
jug with your
Sure.
geyser water bottle and just like have a jet of alcohol?
21.
Lily, what's your armor class?
It's 18.
Roll damage.
Wait, what'd you roll?
I just rolled a 21.
I'm gonna do shield.
Okay.
Good call.
I
So,
didn't realize you were attacking.
I didn't mean to attack you. I didn't realize I was attacking you.
Korak, you raise your sword up. So you swing to the side as you see the creature suddenly shift to your side. Lily, it comes crashing down on you. You expend one of the charges that's in the ring as suddenly the shield deflects the blow to the side. Korak, as your sword comes across, your eyes kind of settle back and you see that you just swung at Lily. Fenrir, go ahead and make your 2 attacks. What spell did you have prepared?
Shit, I didn't think that far in advance. I'll do the guiding bolt.
Okay, make your attack at disadvantage because you're in melee.
27.
2 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Already committed to doing it. Oh, fucking badass. 19 and 18.
I thought I was a 30. I was
Roll
like,
damage.
what are you talking about?
What's my spell attack? 25.
27 points of damage total.
Okay.
Shoot twice. Huh? You hit twice.
He rolled 2
Yeah, I rolled
dice.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 25 on my spell attack.
Right, damage.
7. And. Oh shit, all of a sudden I can't do math in my head. 23. Or 13.
Okay. Yeah, the array of missiles and the bite coming from the back slam into its backside. As Korak, as you come down with your sword, Lily, you throw up one hand and scatter the blow to the side. As you reach out with the other one, and guiding bolt slams into the chest of it, and you see this glowing light come across it. As Fenrir, you come in with your axe, slam once into the chest, pull out, and slam straight in right above the neck where the head meets the carapace. Just slice through as the head kind of like just kind of rolls out of it like a ball, just kind of rolling out. You can see the small concave space where it was. It's just,
Oh, another tattoo.
I liked him more. I liked him more when he was a snail.
Let's go get him right now.
silence fills in around you.
Shall we take a short rest here? Does anyone need a breather?
I'm fine. Why don't we worry about...
Oh, he's fine.
worry about...
It's a matter of
Does
fact.
the blood continue anywhere else?
Make an investigation check. Or perception check, yes, because you're not really investigating anything.
Sure. 14.
14. Taking a look around, you can see that there is blood that's kind of spattered around. You can see that there are several, one other corpse aside from the one that you saw before, torn open, similar to this one. You can see that there's more blood that was from that direction, similar to what it was before. That it was almost like wounded coming this direction.
Same direction.
Can I take a closer look at the table in the mining room?
Sure. You go up and you can see that there's a set of brass scales with a small set of counterweights next to it, as well as you can see that there is a small blue sapphire that's kind of on it, and they can see that it looks as if it's slightly off weight at this point, much more down on the weighted side than the sapphire, and you can see that there's a small collection of other small stones next to it. Going and looking at those, you can see that it's there are 3 stones that are worth 25 gold pieces each.
The thing that I was curious about is
3 gemstones?
because this was before
If you want to
all
write that down for your inventory.
before all this transpired. I wanted to see if you said this is sort of a place where they're weeding out like the higher quality gems. Does it look like they're possibly putting them somewhere and like transferring them in a different direction, or not in a different direction, but they're going to a specific place where they're maintaining like the higher, like where they're weeding them out and.
Make an intelligence check.
How much was the sapphire?
It was one of the 3 that were there.
Okay.
It's just neat.
What did you
An
think?
8.
Just found some gems on this table.
Not really sure. Not really sure what it would have been.
Okay.
So you guys taking a short rest?
Does anybody need a short rest? Scrub some health, whatever's.
I
think
could use one, but I definitely
one.
wouldn't say I need it.
You can always heal you.
No, I'm not worried. The health isn't.
Don't really need one, but if we're gonna take one, why the fuck not?
It would benefit me, but I don't need it. I think that's the way to say it.
Yeah, let's just take it.
Okay. So you guys take a short rest. If you want to go ahead and play your Song of Rest.
Yes.
Unless if you're going to play. I don't know if you guys are being quiet or not. You can't really quietly play a song of healing.
yeah. I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
really matter at this point.
Well, here's the question: are we in a hurry?
Is it
What is
actually-
our plan here?
Well, I think we found out what they wanted us to find out what cleared out this cave. If it's infested with umberholds.
So
No,
yes.
you were
right.
down the tunnel.
We have half the mission complete.
Well,
Now we need to find a way to clear it out.
Well, Bear heard something screech down there. Does not necessarily mean it's. Yeah, Sindal heard something screech down there.
Back to
Doesn't necessarily mean it's an umberhawk, and I don't know if I did they make any screeching noises?
These sounded more like low bassy hissing and chittering sounds.
Plus, today, if you look at if we compare the corpses here to the remnants of the corpses we've seen before, these ones were more disemboweled, whereas the other ones were just consumed. So I think whatever we're dealing with might be different than umberhawks.
That's true. Sindal, do umberhawks live in colonies? Or do you know?
Make a nature check.
Natural one.
Nice.
No idea. You just know that you remember reading about them and the stories tied around them, but you don't know anything about their habits or ecology.
We just found some jewels.
Well,
Yeah.
we've learned that snails can't breathe
25.
in alcohol. Each.
Yes.
How many did you find?
Yes, we did.
A valuable
And the
lesson.
polymorph creatures will not be intoxicated when they revert back into their other forms.
We also
Two
And
valuable
the
lessons.
drowning does not kill the original form.
3 valuable lessons.
We also reiterated on previous lessons that Fenrir and Lune grow quite impatient, which I would prefer not to provoke again. Being
You
that
just hear a low growl
That sounds more like a
coming from
personal
Lune.
character
She just
flaw
sits
to
and
me.
just looks at the 5 of you back and forth.
yes, well, most beasts don't get over personal issues
I think
very
we can
well.
all agree that it's hilarious to turn a giant bug creature into a small
Yes,
snail.
I agree.
It would
But
have
I
been
would.
better if you launched it down the hallway.
I wish I would have had the opportunity.
I concur, but at the
Sometimes
same
in life
time-
and death situations, you need to put comedy on hold for a moment out there.
There's more Umber Hulks in here, I'm sure.
No doubt that launching that Umber Hulk as a snail down the hallway, it would have popped out and been furious, and it would have attacked whatever it saw.
I
There's a
actually
separate
don't know
room
if that
there,
would
Cody,
work
where the
because
table
it
was.
has to weigh between
No,
1
this is
and
like
5
a
pounds, and I don't know how
carved
light a
stone
snail is.
area with like a platform.
Four
almost.
figures.
There is no
Four
way a
lessons.
snail weighs more
Four.
than 5 pounds.
4 lessons that
It
we
has
learned
to weigh
knowledge
at
of what it
least
was used
1
for.
pound. A
This is
snail
where it
probably
comes from
doesn't-
the weighing scales.
At least something if it's 1 pound. Valuable lessons learned all around.
Does it have to weigh at least 1 pound?
Yes.
So, what are you guys doing?
Well, the rest is finished, right?
We're
Hit dice
RPing
are
our
spent.
short rest.
Oh, we did take
Yeah.
a short rest?
Yeah,
Okay.
hit dice.
I'm gonna
Spend your hit dice. Use your natural recoveries.
recovery.
Wait, what the fuck's natural?
That's my thing. I get to recover.
Okay, I'm gonna
spells.
spend 2 hit dice.
Head down the
You've been
tracks.
hit dice
Deeper
right
I
into
know,
the
I'm just
mine.
only gonna
I'm
do 2.
going to use a hit die.
Okay.
Well, let's
I'm
head
not
down the
using- I'm not
tracks
using
deeper
that.
into the mine then.
Ooh, that's
Okay.
not bad at all.
Marching order.
I'll take the lead again unless anyone else wants to.
I will continue casting light
Just keep it the same.
using dancing lights
Yeah.
from
Oh,
near
wait.
the rear.
Cody, I can use 2 hit dice and then use more.
You could use all 9.
Yeah, but
or
I-
however many you get.
But I can do it one after the other. I don't have to do it all at once, is what I was asking.
So,
That's 1 point less than 4.
While they're up front, I'd like to. I will take up the full rear.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and listen to see if anything is following us. He said.
make a perception check.
Yeah, I did.
He said bottom.
Perception 11.
Are you guys stealthing?
Should we at this point? I mean, they have tremor sense, I'm told. I don't know if stealthing is really going to help that much.
told you that?
I'm sure that it'll help. We should try to
It
stealth.
didn't seem to
We-
help the last time.
We don't know whatever creatures.
We could just stealth without pass without a trace. Let's
Stealth
fucking do
checks.
it. Yeah.
Stealth checks.
Right.
Oh yeah!
There it is. 1.
Natural one.
18. This doesn't really matter now, does it?
Lily.
10.
14.
13.
There's no plus 10 on this fender.
There's not.
No.
Stealth check. Sorry.
Disadvantage for both of you.
Yes, I understand. Thank you. 18 for Fenrir.
Wow.
And
Aww. Puppy. Oh, clumsy puppy.
it's 3
Clumsy
for
puppy.
Lune.
So,
She's all panting.
you all, quietly as you can be, lights still lit as you guys are going. You continue on down this tunnel, and you can see as you're going along that there are several smaller branching tunnels that look like it looks like that these were ones that people started to mine down, and you're still kind of following the main path because you can see in the frameworks that there are no torches down those. You kind of investigate the first couple and nothing really catches your eye, so you continue on. The path starts to slowly go downward. As you go down maybe another 300 or 400 feet down this tunnel, it starts to bend around, and as you round the corner, you can see that the door, the tunnel opens up into a larger chamber. Currently, from where you're standing, you can see to your right are the railing that's underneath where you guys are walking goes ahead and kind of connects into a larger circle. Your light doesn't go too far beyond that, but you can see that it goes out straight ahead and kind of connects into a larger section of railing.
Like one of those train track stations where they like the cart.
You're not 100% sure. You can just see that it kind of goes forward and kind of like melds into a larger system of some kind. You need to go further into the room, and you can see to your right as well that there is a small path, maybe 10 feet wide, with a train with a railing kind of coming down it as well, and it comes in and connects to this larger circle. What do you guys want to do? You guys are currently just standing in the archway of this room.
So we're like potentially in the room where all of them converged.
Yes, that's what it seems to be. That's what the map would indicate. And you can see up above you that the ceiling goes about 60, 70 feet up.
It's a big fucking room.
I whisper this, but I say, we heard something coming from this direction, noise-wise. There's probably something in this room.
Should we dim the lights?
Are there any? Can we see any like carnage like we've seen
Here,
before?
perception check.
It is. Excuse me. I'm sorry. 12.
12. You can see that there is some blood smattered around kind of near where you're standing. You don't see any corpses. You just see some of the blood just kind of spattered around where you are. That's all you can really see. You guys kind of need to go further in to really be able to see anything at this point from where you're standing.
I have an idea. I'm sorry, I whispered it in real life.
Stay whisper.
I have an idea. Perhaps I'll cast a major image and have it walk ahead of us. If something is in there, maybe it'll attack the image first.
I like that idea. That's a good
Charge
idea.
into it.
What's your idea? I'm sorry.
Cast an image and have it walk out ahead of us, and then perhaps the thing that's in there will attack it first.
I'll cast Divine Sense again.
Okay.
As well.
Perhaps one of you can.
You cast Divine Sense.
If,
Does
Since
the
any undead, any...
I
anything
didn't
else?
even think to ask what type. Do I know what type of creatures that we just encountered were?
You heard him. I'm assuming you would have told them at least the name that you had heard before, but they're just creatures. They're not undead. They are just
Oh shit.
creatures of some kind.
If you will let me, I'll take that back.
Okay,
with
that's
that
fine, man.
knowledge. Thank you.
Well, a sensible
I can-
backup.
I can aid in.
I was gonna say, do you put your dancing light on my image?
Does your image make any sound? The illusion?
I believe I can make it make sense.
Because a lot of these, apparently, I tried to blind one of those other creatures, those Umber Hulks, and well, I guess it makes sense that these creatures that spend their lives in darkness don't really rely on sight as much as
It
sound.
seems completely real, including sound, smells, and temperature appropriate to the thing depicted.
Oh shit!
Wow, that's awesome.
Read that again.
Covers everything.
The image seems completely real, including sound, smells, and temperature appropriate to the thing depicted.
Sweet. Well, I can give you an echo, if you'd like, and also a light,
think
a
I can-
torch of a sort, walking with your creature.
I think I could just have it go on its own.
Well,
If
whatever
you
you
could just
like.
give me a little light with it.
So,
Send your skeleton.
So everybody
I don't have any skeletons with me.
Sindal, are we able to retcon you giving me another shield spell with my ring?
No.
Wouldn't do it anyway.
So I'm going to. So I just say, just everybody prepare your actions, prepare to dive in. If anything attacks it, and then I'll cast a major image. It'll be something. It'll just look like me.
Are you guys moving out at all? You guys are still all kind of standing at like the
I think-
hallway where you
Is
think
there
we're waiting
anyone
for the illusion.
who feels like they need extra protection? You both.
Oh, just to be pick
I
one.
don't care if
I actually
Just
do
be
have
self-
something I
It's like
can.
300 feet of walking.
300 feet walking. Just
Plus
I do have
Plus
something.
30
I do have a
minutes.
spell that I could.
Well, you guys
use
took a
here.
short rest.
Right.
I was
So I want to make
Which-
sure it's not 30 minutes more than that.
It's about 30 to 45 minutes for a short rest. So
There's
you,
one-
what spell you or what?
There's
A
one
false
creature
life takes
every
1 hour.
single thing,
So
and you had to prioritize.
you casted it.
right before the
Oh, right before the Umber Hulk. So you
Dead
still, yeah, it's still in effect.
protect that.
And this goes to anyone who thinks that they'll be in.
I might actually attack myself.
What, are we?
And you having dancing lights follow it? Is that what's going on? Or is this image just walking out ahead of you?
I suppose that we're going to create a strong torchlight.
Make sure
With-
you give it a cool wide-brimmed hat.
It's gonna look like this, of course.
So, you see as Zarn takes a moment, casts the spell, and you see, appearing in front of you, you see this flash of purple arcane energy as from mist, kind of just with a flare, kind of blows it away. As you can see, second Zarn standing there, turns, looks to you,
Hey,
gives you a tip of his hat,
It's on the third too.
and you see as
That's Yonraz.
as the dancing lights
That's a good-
appear,
I like
kind of just floating a little bit behind him.
Can you mind our leaving with a torch in his hand?
I think so, right? And I can he'd be holding a torch and like a weapon when he had a torch in there.
So you see as the torch appears, and the dancing light kind of fills into where the torch was. Zarn, the illusion Zarn, begins to walk forward. As the rest of you stand with your lights, watching it as it goes. It's a bit as the.
I step back. Are we near a wall?
Oh yeah, like you guys are essentially standing like right inside the room.
I'd like to step back towards a wall, and put both of my hands against it and see if I feel rumbles.
Make a perception check.
13.
You see as the Zarn, you can kind of hear the echoing of his footsteps as he starts to walk out into the room. You see that he gets out more towards it, and you can see the light kind of illuminates what is more towards the center of this room. You can see that there is almost like a carousel of, there's essentially a round circle of where there are several mine carts laid out, several of them broken and smashed. And you can see at the in the center of it, you can see that there is piles of stone. You can see that there are more tables similar to what you saw before with implements on them. And you can see towards the center of the room a statue of a large dwarf standing maybe 20-25 feet, made of stone, holding a hammer over its head. It looks like it is a smithing hammer almost, except it's a little strange that he holds it with two hands. As Zarn walks more towards the center of the room, gets to the center, looks around. You see lunging out from the left suddenly this large creature. You can see right before it lunges this flash of blue. As you can see as it lights up, lands right next to Zarn, looks it. And you can see it now in the light, this long, lithe creature, legs lying all down the side of it. This blue lightning crackling up through its neck
Oh, yeah.
as it breathes lightning straight onto Zarn. Make perception checks. I still know yours. Everyone else roll perception checks. Actually, I lied. Not everyone. Fenrir, a bear, Lily, and Zarn. You weren't there for this.
Womp womp.
You said you still wanted to keep mine for
Let's keep yours.
So much.
22.
22?
22.
Wouldn't be good. Does Lene get one?
Just you.
So dejected.
13.
The three of you recognize this.
And
It's here. It's very small. So he breathes lightning in through Zarn. You see Zarn as he gives it a wink and a finger gun.
That's it. He tips his hat.
And a finger gun towards it as he tips his hat. The rest of you hear this low growl as you feel.
how far away is it?
You look up and you can see latched to, holding onto the wall above you. Large, much larger, stretching 30, 40 feet in length. A behir stands about 20 feet above you, clasped to the wall, looking down at you as you see lightning begin to glow up through its form. That's where we're going to tonight's session.
Fuck, fucking Queen Goma. God damn it.
Why don't we just look up when we go into rooms?
I don't know.
Guys, I hope anyone that's watching, I don't know if anyone is, but if you do, or if you are, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again next Wednesday. Never missing another Wednesday again, and the Wednesday after that.
And we'll never die.
And the
we're gonna
Wednesday
die
after
as our
that.
characters 'cause we're fighting
Except
weird.
that 2 Wednesdays from now, it'll be everyone with new characters because everyone's going to die right now.
Yay! That's exactly what I wanted.
Guys, thank you for watching. We'll be back next Wednesday, my dudes.
Bye, my dudes.
I should have known that's what we were gonna fight when I literally
I
sat
hope
there.
both
When we
the
sat there and
gyms
watched
are
you
out
paint.
I like both gyms.
So there's 2 of these